Hey, what's going on? Hello, hello, hello. We just got a couple of last minute players. So give me 1 second, okay, and I'll be ready to start it off. We don't really have anyone not checked in, I believe, so that is very nice. Do we even have anyone who's not checked in? Oh yeah, we have 2 people checked in, I guess. But yeah. Let's just go to bracket real quick. We need drum roll. We need a Gara to check in, and we need a medic to check in. So Gara and medic, you all got 2 minutes to check in, or you will be DQ'd. Like a pretty interesting bracket tonight. Not the most stacked bracket I've seen in my life, but that always makes it kind of interesting though, because now I have no idea how it's gonna go. Yep, starting in about 30 seconds. So, be quite nice. We got 4 commentators today as well, which is crazy. It's been a while, so I didn't have to commentate anything. So I can just sit back, which is perfect because I actually have to do my laundry. Believe it or not. Gotta go put that in the laundry machine. Hopefully I can do that during one match, you know? Like, before I have to change the scores, but we'll have to see. Might not be able to make it. But yeah. You know that's gonna be a river I cross when I get to it. Oh, we got one more sign up. 1 second. That's gonna be the final person I'm checking. Peter. Oh, they're pretty strong. Here maybe. Alright. I think that will do it for tonight. 75 people registered. Not bad at oh, god damn it, we got another one. Another straggler coming in hot. Final second. Alright, 1 sec chat. Because I think King Dark is pretty good as well, right? They play fairly well if I don't. But yeah, they're pretty good as well. Alright, that should be it though. Process the check-ins and start. Alright, so with that in mind, let me just quickly have a gander at the bracket here. Gotta have some stream matches, obviously. We do have not that many round 1 matches, so let me just up straight to round 2. Let's do Donpi up against the Facebreaker. And let's do Dr. Catastrophe up against the Joe the Conductor. And for round 3 winners, let us do. Oh, could be very good. Could be very good. And then we should do someone down here. No, like here maybe. No, because we're gonna do this one, so we should do someone in the top. Like we'll do this one. We'll do this one. We'll do top 32. We'll do this. I'm just marking as usual. You know how it be. Do be like that. Get my controller and we are good to go. Good song, man. Thank you, Overclicked. As usual, chat. Oh, let me get the ping out that you guys can play, obviously. I forgot to prepare that one. I was man, I got scammed today, let me tell you. At work. I got hella scammed. I was like, I don't even think I had to go to work today. And then suddenly, I'm like invited to 2 meetings. And one of them ended like fucking 4:30, dude. And I'm home so late for the bracket. It's like, man, absolutely scammed from thinking I could just chill at home. A work from home kind of day to suddenly I have like fucking 3 meetings in one day. It was like, man, Jesus Christ. How could they train me like that? Hey, what is good? What's good? What's good?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Strive Earth Exhibition, also known as the SaltyEU Tournament, 114th edition, plus all the .99s that already happened. It's myself back, once again, Lapsos. Hello, everybody. And with me, we have the avatar of a certain Sir Kappa. Thank you very much for being here.
Hey, hello everybody. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is Yokai's representative, Demon of Mischief, Jester of Hell. I go by many a title name, but to keep things simple, you can just call me Kappa for the night.
Okay, I'll do. Because if not, I think that's too many titles. And not even the Lord of the Rings has that many names when they present a character.
I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time, it's like, why not have a little fun with it while we're here? I mean, we have a little bit of guilty gear action from the EU side, and I'm excited to see how things go, because this is my first time here commentating with SaltyEU.
It's gonna be fine, but more importantly, before we start all the procedures and before we start all the games, a couple of things to remember, everybody. First of all, if you want to check how the bracket is going, exclamation point bracket, but more importantly, we do have Macherino. Okay, exclamation point Macherino on the chat. If you go that, you will be able to log in and claim your code. But because more importantly, we already claimed 24 codes. Damn, my math from time to time goes out of the window. But yeah, no, we already claimed half the codes. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, you know, it's always fantastic to have like a community effort, really showing out support for your players, but not just your players, but your TOs. And it's really cool. Just the fact that we as TOs will host a pot, but then the crowd themselves will just cash in on the efforts, help assist in making sure the players also know that the community does support them, does support the game. And all in all, it really is just a community effort on all parts to make sure that everybody can come here, enjoy the game, enjoy what we're going to see, and incentivizes more players to compete.
Exactly, because at the end, if you want to, let's be real, a bigger prize pool is going to attract more people because, we can try to get more cash if we do well. And to be fair, we are human. We be like that. But hey, it's better for everybody because more important, we also show Macherino that we do engage, we do claim those codes, therefore they can be better with us. Things like that. But hey, we already have the first game set up. It's gonna be Donpi versus Mr. Facebreaker.
Oh, Facebreaker. Yeah, I remember that name.
I don't. I can't recognize anybody. And Donpi is technically from Spain, so I'm going to get shot on somewhere, but I don't care.
Yeah, I do recognize Facebreaker. They did top 8 one of our EU events over at Yokai, and I do recognize them because they do play Slayer, and Slayer has been a constant when it comes to the entirety of this game's life cycle with Season 3, people being very disgruntled with the way that he's been out. He's just the new scapegoat on the block, but how this over is going to play out in Donpi's favor, it's going to be a difficult challenge because Slayer can just ultimately circumvent a lot of the dead zone games that Donpi's going to have to work around.
This matchup is immediately also known as a death sentence. Donpi will need to send every trick out of the bag just to get Facebreaker to fall out. For now, beautiful execution on Donpi's side, but now Facebreaker has half bar of butter, and there it is. Immediately, super mappa connects, and now, okay, OTG, what's gonna be?
Yeah, so far, like, this is a really good start from the opening gate, not being able to allow Facebreaker to get any of that game plan started. I know they did get the whiff punish off the Super Mappa hunch, but other than that, so far, they're playing the neutral game pretty well, not allowing Facebreaker to get in, but Facebreaker is going to eventually come into your space and have to run this game plan, just the usual shenanigans, but Donpi able to get the back throw incident and be able to run the game once again.
Yeah, exactly, but now, Deflection is gonna do a good job. Beautiful backdash, evading the command grab. And Facebreaker 2-edge counter hit. Misses the link on the CS, but doesn't matter. Still missing those CS confirms. Facebreaker putting himself in a bit of a jeopardy position.
Yeah, right now, I mean, this is early going, so it doesn't feel too bad. This is the first map chin, so if you want to get any early mistakes out of the way, might as well get them out while you can. But Facebreaker is starting to kind of clean up their game plan. Even with the round deficit, is just able to take that round in tow. But yeah, if you're in competition, you definitely want to get these early round mistakes out of the way from the get-go rather than get them out later on, so that way you can feel a little bit more comfortable on the stakes for the remainder of the tournament.
Exactly, that we are seeing already. That was a good reaction on Facebreaker, recognizing the deflect shield. Donpi has been using those, but in the wall with that super mappa, that's gonna be almost all the life out of Donpi, and now Facebreaker with a dominant position.
Nice throw to be able to get the back throw incident here, able to just get through that little gap in their pressure, and able to get the wall break too. They got positive bonus in 50 meter to work with, but this is a deficit. You do not want to take any hits, and this is the reason why, as you're able to take that round away from Donpi, and Donpi, unfortunately, as they were mounting a comeback, just could not handle it in time, could not hack it. But this is early gate, this is early game, this is first blood shed. They have plenty of time to really clean this up. But if Facebreaker is allowed all these opportunities that they are so far, Donpi's going to be out quicker than a flash.
Yeah, because everybody remember, except for reasons unknown to mankind, has a very small life pool. I still don't know why they decided to go this way and some other ways other characters. That's out of my league. But hey, and Slayer deals truckloads of damage. Truckloads. All of them. That include the truck, everything. So yeah, it's a two-shot game. If Facebreaker managed to get a good starter, Donpi is dead in 2 shots. And no, yeah, continue. I was just exaggerating even more.
Yeah, and that's just it, and that's best case scenario. Like, just like 2 touches is like the best case scenario for Donpi here, because Slayer is just one of the few characters in this entire game who can consistently get the damage output that they get. And seriously, this is not a good place for Facebreaker as they try to cash out and to get into sort of RC through that super, but Donpi just able to catch their man. But they are on the back foot. They do get the throw off of this. The strike throw is really potent with Slayer, but unfortunately, you're gonna get caught out because you just have a little bit of a hole in your game plan.
Yes, you have. Okay, another yellow to Facebreaker. Yellow to Donpi. Okay, good defense for Facebreaker. Donpi just trying to be annoying, but there are limits and Switch connects. And Facebreaker, the dandy cross up. That menace.
It's an ambiguous little cross up too, because like the way that his dash works, sometimes you have to gauge the distance and it's so difficult to really tell. And not able to get the Kara throw, and luckily for Donpi, they didn't really lead to much, but that counter hit is not going to help things, as that power bunker loop is going to lead them through the wall and possibly to an early grave.
So I still don't know how that didn't kill, but doesn't matter. Positive bonus. Donpi is gonna get burst in a moment. No more butter, but Facebreaker burst. Full bar of tension. There is no way anybody survive against that. And with that, Facebreaker 2 over Donpi in a dominant way. Not only that, Slayer helps, but there are limits.
There's a limit to how much you can get away with when you're playing as Axel. You have very few times to be able to make mistakes, and that's the reason why you just get swept over and get tossed under the rug if you just aren't quick enough to land the hits necessary. And because of the way Slayer's designed this season, like this game, it's so difficult to even land any of your prominent tools as Axel, as all your lows get invalidated. All your best tools just get invalidated by the use of Dandy Step and 2H. It's just very difficult to get a poking game started with this character. And honestly, that's probably the biggest reason why this matchup is so frowned upon when it comes to the Axel gameplay. You just cannot get anything going if you just make one mistake.
Yeah, trust me, I know. But hey, as Donpi himself said in chat, 10 days. In 10 days, we should be getting dizzy, we should be getting the nerfs to Slayer, so yeah.
Let's just hope, because we've had about like
Exactly.
5-6 months. We've had 5-6 months to be able to gauge this, and as far as we can tell, we've had plenty of time to gauge how strong this character is. Unlike with the cases of Asuka and Sid, who have like had relatively less than 3 to 2 months, Asuka like more so is a very slow burn, but like Slayer has been out for a significant amount of time now. They've been out for almost as long as the last patch has been out. So in general, I think it's fair to say the community can tell what the character strength lies, as we can see these crossovers from the dash throughs and just Facebreaker on the prowl, smelling blood in the water, but Donpi just manages to throw the stagger window of that entire sequence.
Yeah, and then good frame trap. Oh, they say not to go for a tornado, which means that Facebreaker can just get out of there scotch-free. The super, that's gonna get blocked. Oh,
But they don't
Facebreaker
punish-
blocks the... No, exactly. Blocks the second strike and just stands there. Donpi gets more poked down, gets the kill.
Yeah,
Still alive.
Probably a little bit of a knowledge check. Probably forgot about it in that moment, or just didn't know it at all. You can jump the second follow-up even if you do block the first, as that does leave them punishable. If you do block both hits, you cannot punish Axel here, but that's okay because Donpi has already circumvented the life deficit already from both these players, and now it's just basically in the favor of Facebreaker, as Burst is going to be cashed out. 50 meter on deck for a Facebreaker, but the corners have swapped.
Exactly. There's a chance, and remember, the only thing that Slayer struggles technically is in defense, but it doesn't matter when you have yellow and you have all that pressure. Okay.
Nice use of deflect shield, a little bit of a trade off of that.
He's dead.
Get a kill off of that Mappa hunch.
Exactly, and with that, Slayer. Another pretty quick the game. There were a couple that were more contested, but still gone in a flash. Being dandy is indeed very strong.
I mean, being dandy, when you're as dandy as Slayer is, you kind of don't have to consider a lot of the approaches that you have to do with this game. A lot of your approaches are very, very simple, very straightforward, but they're just so effective, and they're so heavy hitting. They're heavy-handed in the way that you just play neutral, and it's so difficult to even like consider playing the game that you want to play unless you have a way to shut him out from using his best tools. But so far, Donpi showing off the reason why you cannot make the mistake against letting Slayer play his game plan. But what else can you do when your tools just get annihilated and circumvented by the fact that you have low profile, like low crush 2H? You have a way to circumvent the 5P because it hits pretty high as a mid. And on top of that, any one hit can lead to a TOD possibly.
And I would like to also remember that Super Mappa is like a frame 0 super.
Yeah, you can't RC it if you can't RC it after
Exactly.
the flash.
That's the problem. You can be the moment that Slayer gets 50% bar, Rensen is out of the table, which means that you cannot go poking full screen. You need to bait a Super Mappa and then you can play again. Because if not, you'll be living with all the dread, all the tension of, if I send another Rensen, I am dead.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, how do you play the game to your strengths when the opponent doesn't even allow you to play that? Like, your character just invalidates that game plan. You can't play from a distance because then you give him too much space, and then you overcommit, and you can't play too up close because that's where your opponent is going to be thriving best on. So you kind of conflicting. That's why it's like so difficult to really gauge how well you can play the game against Slayer when everything is invalidated by some of his toolkit. It's not just one thing in a vacuum. It's literally his whole kit on top of that just makes certain characters just invalidated as a whole.
Exactly, my existence in a bottle. But we are back, and this time we are seeing Axel again, but against Testament, a match of the more mid to long range characters. Remember Testament, if we haven't seen it in a while, that's one of the big changes. Arbiter Sign is a full screen right now, better tracking also. Well, the spam is interesting right now.
Yeah, this is going to be a battle of two mid-range, long-range zoning heavy playstyles. One of them more two-step, the other more oriented around the traditional style of zoning. The girls are out to play as they're going to set up that stain state, get that full conversion, able to get the kill off of this as well. And this is a tale of two styles of zoning clashing together. You have the traditional zoner versus the set plays, the two-step zoner, who can just set up and get this movement as that teleport is able to cross the distance and get the whiff punish necessary.
Oh, beautiful conversion out of Jokirby there. Beautifully done, and Dr. Catastrophe trying to do something, but gets the catch, gets the bomber, good damage. This is gonna attack you. Yeah, I know by experience that you cannot rainwater that super. You are gonna get tagged at the end.
Yeah, as Kizzy K once put it, you're about to get barneyed, and that is the reason why you cannot throw options belligerently against Testament. Testament may not be the most prolific character when it comes to whiff punishment as well as damage output, but you cannot afford to get hit by these really large swings, as Testament is one of the few characters in this game who can actually really get a lot of their max range confirms into something really pivotal for their set plan. Like just the ability to be able to set up their meaty Grave Reapers, their Succubi, so they can get the teleport off. There's just so much that Testament can do once you have that meter on deck, and you can't afford to make these mistakes against Testament, as they can actually get some pretty good damage off if they get the right starter.
Yeah, and not only that, the moment that you allow Testament to get all the setups done, get all the schools, and just start spamming the Arbiter, you are going to be stuck there until you are forced to block hard enough that there it is, the moment that the Succubi appears and you are done. Let's see if Catastrophe can change the situation, but it is not looking good right now. Rensen is not affected, and there. Oh!
Trying to utilize a little bit of that space control off of the Raven too. Trying to summon the soul of Edgar Allan Poe. Try to tap Dust, the cheeky Testament player. But Catastrophe just contesting aggressively, wanting to throw out any A.B.A early on. Try to contest the spaces as well as the gaps between pressure. But Okarin, there's a little bit of a lag spike here. So Okarin trying to push the space, trying to utilize a lot of that Arbiter to try and catch the little bit of gaps from Catastrophe as they're opening up little by little.
Exactly, opening, but yeah, and this time another beautiful use of the possession. Because Catastrophe has been relying a little bit too much on that Rensen 8. A little bit of spam now, again, Okarin, beautiful possession. Getting the teleport, another big setup, and that's gonna be a lot of damage.
Yeah, this is looking really good for Okarin as they just get the kill off Toe. I did not expect that to kill right then and there. I know he has one guts, but Jesus Christ, he just died.
Yeah, one guts, negative defense modifier. I told you, for some reason, Axel has shit life. Technically, was a gang leader in London. Why? Ay. Such a blasphemy that they want to hate us zoning fans so hard, especially Axel. Such a shame, Daisuke. Such a shame. Okay, let's see if Dr. Catastrophe can get this back. There were some glimpses of possibility there. There are moments that we can resonate the gameplay and say, yeah, you can do it. You just need to deal with everything from Bedman. Well, shit, from Testament. Yeah, it's been too long since I've seen a Testament. Sorry.
No, it's all good. That was very cheeky to not go for the full sequence off of that into the Grave Reaper, instead using the teleport to go to the other side and cross up the senses of Dr. Catastrophe here. But again, you are right. Dr. Catastrophe has shown signs of life here and shown some positivity from time to time. But it's just a matter of that Okarin was able to find more opportunities to be able to cash out and be able to get the damage on set already. And that's one of the reasons why is that Arbiter Sign has been clipping them super consistently.
Ooh, and then another big possession, just that reposition, and we've also been seeing too much. Catastrophe has been jumping constantly. I know that it's a decent tool against Testament, but there are limits, okay?
You can't afford to jump too much against them, because it's like if you can control the space somewhat in a very fixed angle, and some of those angles Dr. Catastrophe wants to really highlight. They already showed they want to play the airspace, and Okarin is really taking full advantage of this as they're just forcing them to play the ground game or keep contesting the skies in a better way. Just goes to the wall.
That's a disrespect.
Yeah, I like to call it pulling a Zando, because ever since he got that throw combo into purple RC too early, I've just been calling it that. I've been dubbing it the Zando. But it's all good, as they did close out the game. Okarin moving on to the next round, or Jokirby. I keep looking at the wrong screen sometimes when it comes to the names. But other than that, Jokirby does move on, and they do so without too much issues on their books. Catastrophe trying very hard to find openings, but they just got a little too hesitant, and it showed that the pressure was starting to mount as their game plan started to stifle over time.
Yeah, there are limits on how much you can do. You cannot react to everything that happens on the game. At the end, we are human. We have a limited span of. There's a quantifiable limit on how fast we can react to something. If it's faster, shit happens. But hey, good games both. A little bit too one-sided for my taste. But hey, games be games.
I know. I imagine like being an Axel player, this is kind of heartbreaking too, to see two of your comrades in arms just fall down to other characters who just can do the damage necessary to kill. One of them being more prolific in that regard, the other being less prolific, but still being represented quite a bit, especially in NA, by none other than like one of the biggest names doing it so is Sinfukai. Just the Testament bros have been up in the stocks lately, especially with season 3, just doing a lot for the character, and recently the patch that came out for this season this year, just doing quite a bit in terms of like opening up a little bit more of that ability to get cash outs, to get punishes that normally didn't exist. And the Grave Reapers changes alongside the Arbiter changes. Yeah, Testament definitely looks more like a character that you have to be a little bit more considerate about, rather than just cast aside as just another obstacle in your way.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, the changes were necessary. Was too much nothing, the character at the end. But now we have a character again. Luckily, still not at the same level that their representation on Plus R is, because god damn it, if they go back this far, we have troubles. But hey, it's a character. You can play it. It's still doing more or less the same thing as before, but in a better way. Technically.
I mean, technically speaking, they are doing something similar, but I would argue that's actually false. I would argue this is a genuinely different Testament. A lot of the core philosophies that are in Testament's kit are there, but none of the potency from Plus R is there. You still have your grave digger loops. You had your trap set play. You had the webs. You had the trees. You had the curse. You had the throws that led to the curse and whatnot. And then you had the ability to additionally add more BS on the screen if you had more dolls. But that is done and dusted with. Now it's just mid-range set, like mid-range two-step, and they circumvented that by just giving them stain state. But still, if you're not ready for it, you will get caught out, and you will get caught with your pants down. You do not want that to happen at all. As we're moving on into our next match, Team TatamiGalaxy versus My Mad Mind.
Yeah. Team Japan, full representation right now, with the dancer and the samurai, and TatamiGalaxy already showing us why she's one of the better Baikens here in Europe. And Mad Mind not resting on the laurels, not being defenseless, already doing a lot of damage onto Tatami.
Building up that damage over time is just we're already 30 seconds into the match, or 20 seconds into the match, and the damage output was already mounting quite heavily in Tatami's favor. But that doesn't mean that Tatami hasn't been in these situations before. We've seen Tatami be able to come back from difficult situations before. Even with the strength of the character being called into question, there is still the underlying factor of the fact that you have to deal with that move, Yozan Sen, being ever so potent, even in this version of the game.
I still think that it's not that bad. Okay, you got hurt by the nerfs to all the invincible reversals, but the core damage, the core functions of the moves are still there. Okay, you are not as safe as before. So be it, just get good. Because if you get good, you can be a TatamiGalaxy doing this kind of degenerate shit. But oh, I know that was a bit too much dangerous. Madman just going to town.
Yeah, very unfortunate trying to utilize that YRC, but just the spaced out nature of it is what's going to catch them out as they're going to go from one quarter to the next, traveling from the east to the west. We're heading over to my region as we're going to get this Tatami setup.
Ooh, the classic one backdash into the slingshot forward. There it is confirmed. That's super. 1, 2, 3. The first blood for TatamiGalaxy.
And very smart of them too to cash out early to be able to secure not only the damage and the kill, but be able to secure the burst out of the way so that any problems are already null and void. First point goes to TatamiGalaxy, and they do so with a little bit of nuance to their game plan. A little bit less passive than usual that you would see for a Baiken player in this kind of environment against a character like Anji, but nonetheless still running a game and still confident enough to be able to duke it out with such a heavy hitter in Anji and such a tanky individual too. Those pecs are not for show. He is sturdy as they come.
The Japanese, man. I don't know what they feed them, but they are sturdy, all of them.
Does get the counter hit, // is able to get a decent stable confirm, try to go for the empty jump, but this time Mad Mind not willing to let that rock, try to bait the YRC, but a little too late to the party. The Tatami setup, no, goes straight into the Yoish Dansen crossover and forces the burst out.
Yeah, now just sending those Tatamis, waiting for the perfect moment. Is it gonna be this one? I don't know, but the problem is Mad Mind had freedoms for the offense. TatamiGalaxy. Good advantage of bar, trying to build meter. Madman, full bar of butter. No, there's the confirm. That's gonna be a lot of damage, yeah. Co-combos, we have them. Set up with the butterfly. Oh, yellow. The speed.
YRC just barely catching them, and this is the reason why you hoard that meter. You try to make the most out of it and try to force their engagement, but just unfortunate that last hit. They were mounting a real comeback, but it was shut out before it could even finish. But here we go, TatamiGalaxy gets the wall break, uses the parry to be able to get a little bit of meter back alongside the recovery, and does get the positive bonus to boot with it.
Exactly, but now, man, getting the tag, getting the counter, more important. That's gonna be one of the best starters for Anji immediately. Oh, no! Deciding not to use that meter, it's better on defense.
Yeah, it is a bit unfortunate. They do the burst is forced out. They did have positive bonus and a full stick of butter to work with, but TatamiGalaxy has a burst of their own. Goes for the throw instead. Just staggers a lot of their options here. Tries to get the full confirm, but not likely here. TatamiGalaxy opting to just save the burst here as they just don't want to die a hero just in case if they need it for the next round. And that's actually a perfect idea because they go into the next round with quite a lot of burst in tow. They do cash it out for the Blue Wild Assault to get the confirm. Not able to get the wall break, but still, that is a great position to be in.
Certainly it is, and already we have that wall break. Half bar spent, but the positive bonus already building more meter. Oh, that's not gonna be enough to get the burst back. And Madman is dead! Completely dead! Perfect for TatamiGalaxy.
Yeah, just like quoting Harada is definitely insane work here, as you are just completely dead. And I will say, so far, I'm seeing a lot more damage output coming on the side of TatamiGalaxy here. Madmind gotta fix it up a little bit because it feels like the hesitance is starting to wane on them, and it's actually costing them a pivotal round. And so they have the momentum going for them, but they keep getting hesitant by the final stretch of the game. And that's the reason why TatamiGalaxy is able to run forward and run their offense, because they're just so confident. They don't have to worry about the defensive approaches of Madmind, because now burst is off the table. They're pretty much leading.
Yeah, they have. Tatami has the full advantage. I mean, Madmind can try to get some stray hits, and the conversions are good. We are still talking about Anji. But it doesn't matter, because if Tatami says that you are not going to play, trust me, she means it.
Yeah, you just got to stay vigilant here as Madmind is on the back foot again. TatamiGalaxy able to get the wall break, get a little bit of meter off the parry whiff, and now we're just playing this mid-screen game that Tatami has just been so dominant in so far.
Exactly, Madmind not even now getting the counter hit. Still being tight with that tether. It's gonna allow for interesting combos, but oh no! Does not even go for any reset and still must to get a couple of hits. Back to neutral. Butterfly is gonna force a jump, but not enough to unnerve TatamiGalaxy.
Here we go, mid-screen, just both these players just trying to land any hits, playing the neutral game so well. But TatamiGalaxy finally breaks the stalemate as we're going to go into the other side. Goes for another strike throw situation. He's going to have to force the burst from Madmine, but instead locks them out. Very great awareness, just keeping them away from their lifeline. Steals it yet again and goes for another 3-0 on the bounce for this tournament series. We got back-to-back 3-0s, I think.
Yeah, back-to-back 3-0s. We are going to be speed running this bracket at the rate we are going on. Yes, I agree. Tatami didn't let Madmine almost play at all. There were a couple of moments that Madmine went just Anji, because if you get the starters, we all know that the combos and they'll deal a lot of damage. But even if you get the starters, if you cannot confirm every single hit, you cannot defend out of a very strong pressure that Tatami has been deploying, you are not gonna be playing this game.
Oh yeah, for sure. You cannot afford to make too many mistakes like that, especially considering you had the health advantage, you had the damage output to boot. But when you can't land the hits, that health doesn't mean anything, because the more your health is starting to wane and the more damage you pile on, it means you just have less opportunities to really do anything. Especially when you're using all your best options out the gate and you have nothing to fall back on after everything is said and done. So far it's working when it does, but when it's not, it goes horribly wrong. It's the lack of confidence, and there was a confidence difference between both players here, as Tatami was just going in there without any doubt, without any clear-cut obstacles in their way. They just wanted to get in, do the business, get out, and they did just that with a clean 3-0.
Exactly, but hey, we have a small amount of downtime, not yet probably ready for the another times, which means that we can start chilling again. Remember, everybody, exclamation point Macherino on chat. This is gonna get you the Macherino link that we talked about. You can go there and claim codes. Only 17 codes remain to be claimed. It's easy. You don't even need to sign into Macherino. You can sign it with any account that you already have. Battle.net, the All Dead Twitter, Discord, YouTube. If my memory serves me correctly, LinkedIn.
You could do all kinds of stuff. You could do even Facebook, if I'm not mistaken.
Battle.net, Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Discord, Microsoft accounts, and
You
Line.
could do a lot. Yeah, you could do a lot.
You can do
quite a lot.
Yeah, we only need Blue Sky, a random Ubuntu server, and that's almost the equivalent for a wet dream for a computer nerd.
Oh yeah,
All the choices.
As soon as Blue Sky is able to be integrated into the main fix of things, then you know for a fact a lot of people are going to finally make the transition over, or at least attempt to make the transition. Quite a lot of already moving over to Blue Sky as a result of the fact that, you know, not a lot of people are really big fans of the current changes that are going to be pushed in by Elon, but that's besides the point, as we are focusing on the main task at hand, and that is the players that are playing today. And I'm going to take a quick look at the bracket if you don't mind, so we can take a look at who's, like, what's going on in the winner's side of things. So far, nobody in top 16 yet, but we are looking at the top 32 players, as we are going to have Zato-Van, TatamiGalaxy, Wrathgazer, and CHOCHETE?
You don't want to. Do you really want me to say it?
Yes.
CHOCHETECOHETE. And I am not going to translate that. CHOCHETECOHETE. No, the H is silent. Cohete.
Oh, cohete?
Yeah, more or less.
That's weird. I come from a Latin background, so I do have a I'm a Spanish-speaking background, but I just didn't recognize that. Because again, you never just assume outright. But so far, our top 16 for winner's side is filling up really nicely. Just a couple people still trying to finish up their matches, but we are gonna have Wrathgazer and Chochete verse on stream, and I think I remember Wrathgazer. It's been a minute since I've seen them, but I remember seeing Wrathgazer's name. I just don't remember who they play.
Yeah, I am more on your camp. I recognize names, but
they play pot. They play pot. I remember Wrathgazer plays pot.
I have my own problem, is that I can recognize names, but don't ask me for their names. I am so bad at that job. But hey, Slayer versus Potemkin, the second Slayer we've seen today at least. Let's see the amount of defense. And also interestingly, the changes that Potemkin received, the new move, everything. But Potemkin is right now a dangerous character to face, to be fair. But
oh yeah, he's definitely a dangerous character, especially with the introduction of Heat Tackle, and then this patch giving him more consistent knockdowns off Hammerfall and 5H. Able to get the throw, very tricky, but you know, able to catch the Dandy Man. And historically, this is a bad matchup for Slayer, actually. Like in every other iteration of this game, where Slayer has been an active member of the cast, apparently historically this is a bad matchup, as this is the reason why you cannot play this space with Potemkin. Otherwise, you risk taking a third of your life bar out of the pool already, and that's first blood from Wrathgazer.
Yeah, it's fine. At the end, if you want to beat Slayer, you know, try to polish your Potemkin gameplay. But now, so getting the universal contract immediately, going for that super mappa hunch. But there's a difference. This time, this is a Potemkin. Potemkin has a good amount of life. Another universal ready to go. But, whoa, beautiful back throw.
Try to get the charge dust, a little bit cheeky on their part. Try to go for the pop buster there, but the pile bunker was just too disjointed and they got caught out with their pants down. But Wrathgazer with the lifeline of burst does get the knockdown, is going to set up close slash into Garuda, and you're just going to mental stack, try to play around this strike throw game and put the fear of God into Chochete.
The second one. Yeah, exactly one. Oh! Mr. Cohete right now getting a couple of hits. Wrathgazer stuck on the corner. Half-life, half out of butter available to be spent.
Try to go for the pop buster, try to sneak it in there, but you're seeing signs of why this matchup can be problematic, as the armor is just going to clear through a lot of the things that make Chochete just so dangerous, and that's going to be problematic for them, as even Wild Assault hasn't even been utilized yet. 3 failed the pop busters, you know this is going to be a 4th at some point. Just for that one grab is all they need, and that's all that she wrote.
Not yet still. Cohete still not done, but Wrathgazer gets a combo, gets the hit, Knuckle, and this is more than enough. 1-0 for Wrathgazer.
Yeah, this is why you have to kill your man while you can. There's you give Potemkin players the ability to come back from such a high deficit, they're gonna find a way to really make it hurt. You've got to secure that last pixel, and that shows why. Even being able to backdash, it's late. It's really good for them. They were able to get that kill off the backdash and able to secure that kill before Chochete could even make anything happen. And which is funny because Chochete has been leading the most of the round and most of the rounds, just dominating the neutral. But Wrathgazer just getting the really meaningful hits.
It's the difference of, this time it's not like Axel. Chochete needs to at least get it like 3 to 4 times depending on how much damage you can do with one combo. Wrathgazer needs to get in mostly once, and then you are playing to his tune.
Oh, there it is. We finally snuck it in. You are going to meet the dubious grappler himself, but try to stagger with the low. That was the biggest mistake they made, as that 2H is still ever so present. You cannot afford to let that happen, because even you could get it. Does the backdash, able to beat the command throw, and now we're going to go straight for the kill, and if it doesn't kill, there's always meter on deck.
But at that point, they have more than a kill, and with meter, that's a full death sentence. Chochete trying to do his best, but there are limits. This time gets the wall stuck, gonna break it, but something that will lead like 3/4 of a life out of any character, only half to a Potemkin. And now already bleeding life. Okay.
Bleeding life, but this is not a huge deficit as they do spend the burst, try to utilize the armor to their advantage, getting the straight hits off of there, and able to get the full confirm as well into the Garuda. Oh, you gotta wait for this. You gotta hold out because any mistake is gonna be costly, and that's the reason why. But luckily for them, Slidehead just dropped the confirm for them. That could have been really bad for them right there.
Oh, blood-soaking universal. Okay. Damn, that blood-soaking universal at the end, and the tap dash getting the universal counter hit. That's a lot of damage. Okay, 2K2D manages to confirmation only to a tap dash. Wrathgazer again onto that corner. CHOCHETE is just trying to pummel everything in that direction. Throw everything, including the kitchen sink.
Yeah, CHOCHETE able to get the backdash here, and this is great for them as they're playing the grappler's game off of Wrathgazer's preferred style. Doesn't backdash in time and gets the kill off. That's 1-1 from CHOCHETE versus Wrathgazer. But CHOCHETE being a little bit more active on the offense here, being a little bit more proactive, sealing out certain options from Wrathgazer and not allowing them to play their strike throw game has been a huge factor in why Wrathgazer has been a little bit late to the party in getting started.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Okay. This means that we are going to have our first 4-game match at least.
I mean, it's looking really good. I mean, it's looking fantastic. It's looking like a real ass game. And
it is.
CHOCHETE finally bursts out of the table, finally feeling some pressure from Wrathgazer, like approaching from right then down under. And there's the reason why, as you just cut through the distance, catches the backdash, and able to set up that mental stack off the strike throw game. And Wrathgazer realizing if they can't get the top busters, they might as well play around that mental stack, force them to have to play that game. And that way, when they get discomforted, that's when the pop buster will strike.
Always. The worst pop buster is the one that doesn't even come. Remember Sansu, the best blade is the one that you don't even need to use. Sansu, probably bad buster, but okay. We are going to the heavens. Please enjoy your Amitabha. Please enjoy Buddha because you are going to be with them very, very soon. Perfect for Wrathgazer. This match was a full speed run.
That was a lot more fast-paced and something that is very uncharacteristic for even pop play. That went by in a flash, and to end it off, they sent Slayer into Nirvana, and that is actually just one of the more ironic things. Seeing Slayer get put down like that is so cathartic. It's actually incredibly cathartic.
Yes, it is, it is. And more importantly, it only looks like Slayer had a very nice back massage when everybody will be bent completely over.
Oh, this is interesting. CHOCHETE is being a little bit more passive. I'm trying to say the name. They're being a little bit more passive here, which is a very uncharacteristic, as they're going to give Wrathgazer that pop buster, that first real clean pop buster off of the indecision.
Ooh. Yeah, and this is not looking good for CHOCHETE. Already wasting burst. Again, the combos on the corner. Eating all those stray hits. CHOCHETE's mental has already been demolished, probably at this point. Wrathgazer, those mind games are paying off hard.
Yeah, and it's starting to wear on them. The mental stack has now really been enforced. They are still fighting back as they are going to get that crossover reset, and they're going to try to get the pile bunker loops. Yes, they are, but they don't get the wall break. Nice backdash. There's still 50 meter on deck, so you got to be careful.
Exactly. Wrathgazer manages to catch a hammerfall and a potbuster because just in case another hammerfall trying to the hit tackle deflect shield, but that's not enough. The RC potbuster that RC potbuster was a beautiful idea, but CHOCHETE was just jumping. CHOCHETE is still alive, but Wrathgazer, remember, still set point, and in this way that's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, you don't want to play a Game 5 situation against Slayer. You want to kill him where you can. And Wrathgazer is en route to be able to take this set. But you keep getting hit like this, it's not going to look too good for you, even with the big beefy health pool that you have, as you're down to your last 15%, while CHOCHETE is looking really healthy, but that back throw incident might be concerning.
It is not looking good, and again, another heavily potbuster. We are going to be sending Slayer straight to Nirvana.
Oh,
not dead yet.
He's gonna cash out like That's the best way to get out of there. Get out of there right away. You don't want any hit to land. You want to keep yourself alive. You got to stay alive. Being able to play around this options, this is perfect for them. The BRC catches it with the backdash, and they were able to get the 5P punish, and that means that Wrathgazer moves on.
Then that last trade. Wrathgazer should recognize it. I need that time slow backdash, evades the mappa, and then just the confirmed sentencing Slayer to hell. Wrathgazer, that 3-1. Some games that were a wash and the ones that were fought were beautiful to see.
I mean, just to see a lot of the confirms that we had for Pop and for Wrathgazer's pot, some of them were a little bit more unconventional for the likelihood of what they were going to do for the long run, but I think they just wanted more of those strike throw situations, really meant adding that mental stack in the early get-go. And the fact that Wrathgazer was able to get them to jump as much as they did, it actually set the precedent for the rest of the set, because that enforced the fact that they're going to play the air game, going into this ground game a little bit more effectively, wanting to stop them stuff their jumps, and just playing this evasive game plan. It was more uncharacteristic to see Slayer be so evasive when Wrathgazer was just holding his ground, taking the hits, using his health as a resource, and overcoming the odds by just being able to dish out the damage when capable.
Yeah, exactly. But I will need to tame everything to chill the situation, because bracket is more or less getting there. It's not completely according to schedule yet. We are burning the games so fast, they are going so fast, we're having so much fun that we need to take a breather.
Yeah, so you definitely want to drink some water too.
Drink water, it's good for you. And while we drink water, we take care of ourselves. Remember that we don't have the Macherino accounts, exclamation point Macherino, go there, claim those. It's free, helps everyone that's involved with this tournament. Because remember, everything that's put in that prize pool, straight for the players, because they are earning it.
Yeah, you definitely want to give a little bit more support in that regard. But if it's not an obligation, if you'd like, you can do so. But it's always helpful to not only the players but the TOs to be able to fund not only future brackets moving forward, but it also gives more players incentive to want to compete, to test themselves against some of the stronger opposition for every region. And on top of that, it just offers more incentive all around for everybody in the community to want to really show love, put money into this community so we can fund even bigger projects for the future. And we're starting to see that as Strive is already past its 3 million sales mark, with all these copies being sold worldwide, the biggest selling Arc System title to be sold, period. And I say specifically for an original IP, not in the sense that of co-publishing or co-developing. And because we already know Dragon Ball FighterZ was one of their biggest assets in terms of like development cycles and money that they've earned. But that's Bandai's thing. This is Arc's thing.
Yeah, but that's only fuel because it's Dragon Ball and people like Goku and the Gokus and everything. So it's a perfect IP to throw a game, and even if it's just decent, it's going to sell. People have their soul taken by the Dragon Ball. Therefore, people are going to buy. But this, as you said, it's their own IP, fourth game in the series, not counting all the revisions that they've done.
Oh yeah,
and came out in the perfect moment with the perfect system. People got home, and this came with rollback netcode. Therefore, people got the game and just played.
People were just playing all day long, and there's a reason for that. People were just having a good time of it. People were just having a fantastic time of it and playing the game, enjoying Sparking Zero right now. And this is why you can't throw this under the water. Like, you have to admit, for the achievements of Arc System, this is one of the biggest achievements, if not their most crowned achievement. One of the biggest, if not the biggest selling title that they've ever done for themselves. And it shows, like, the community loves this game, albeit with some issues here and there. They're showing out in support. It also is one of those games where it gave a new wave of young players a place to come into the FGC, find their place, and more so than just find their place as players, but find themselves as individuals, as has been very inclusive, very open. It has given a lot of people who have been a little bit concerned about their identity that ability to be open with themselves, and it's been an ever-growing community ever since. It's been such a lovely time communicating from the youngest players to like some of the more long-serving players. Like the average populace, I would even argue, is like within the teens to the the early adult years. Like, it's insane to think about how young this populace is.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of, to be fair, I think this is going to be the same. This can have almost the same effect as Street Fighter 4 had in that time. Not in the I'm going to get yell, but and remember, not in the same way that the Street Fighter 4 revitalized the whole system, but got a lot of people into playing fighting games, and then got more people maybe into Tekken, into Street Fighter, into all the other games. But this was another gateway game.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those. It's one of those games.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna get talked probably in the future on the impact of Strife, either for good or for bad.
I mean,
that's
for better or for worse.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, this game has had multiple problems. Let's not forget that we still had the horrible integration of, like, the initial integration of PlayStation to PC wasn't the best, but it definitely was serviceable. You had the Hacker Man situations. You had the horrible integration from the initial two platforms I mentioned to Xbox as well, not really working out and actually making the game more unstable. Then you had the problems of Season 3, where just the meta was so overwhelmingly just based around Orange Wild Assault, and then after that patch you had the White Wild Assault being like a huge factor. And overall, there's so many things that just leave people disgruntled, but that doesn't understate the impact this game has had, as the balance overall, in spite of the issues I've just claimed, it has been very much a favorable balancing effort for a good chunk of this game's life cycle.
But as we are reminiscing of the past, let's go back to Season 1, even with a lot of changes. Sol Badguy versus Zato. No DLCs required to play.
Yeah, default cast, you like to see it from time to time. We are going to witness two powers that be, two powers that dominated their respective seasons. Sol Badguy being a very dominant presence in Season 1, Zato being more of a presence in Season 2, but this is Season 4. We're looking into the future now, and we got to keep moving forward as Zato-1 or heyheylo is currently on the prowl, able to reset their Eddy gauge and get that crossover, trying to beat that Volcanic Viper, and is already setting up that damage as time goes on, but that Eddy gauge being gone is not helpful at all.
No, it's not. But Raj already dealing with one of chip damage there. Oh, but the pressure on the corner, we all know it, we all love it. Because if you're hit on the corner and you're facing Sol, say goodbye to your own life. Raj taking first blood on this matchup.
Oh yeah, you cannot be making these mistakes against like this character in particular. This character being the OG of overbearing damage, but more so than just that, it's the fact that it's going to be against Zato, who has seemingly no health at all. Any major hit leads to death for heyheylo, so they've just got to maintain themselves and keep themselves strong against the overwhelming rush of Rush's offense here.
Yeah, no pun intended, no? At the end, good hit on that 2H. There was a moment that could have gone for the super heyheylo, but not at the end. Everything went Milhouse for him. But still, sometimes you need to shut up those hits, and Rush trying to deal with that offense. Yeah, we talk a lot about those. Yeah, Zato's not good. It doesn't matter. The moment that you are put into the grinder, you are not having fun.
Yeah, you still cannot understate the fact that he still can do damage when present, but the problem is you have to be able to access that damage at any given point, and usually that's very difficult to set up when Eddy gauge is usually depleted by the time you get set up. And that's the reason why, is heyheylo is on the back foot. They are holding meter. They did jab it out and was just successful in being able to escape in time, just setting up that side swap. There we go. This is why you cannot understate his threat. He still has the left-right sandwich situations. You've got to be on your toes at all times.
Yeah. I mean, try to block that, and if you think that you can do it, you are a liar or you are a cheater. Because goddammit, there are limits to the human reaction, as I told you before. But more importantly, thank you to the Juxtaposer, the original Faust of the EMEA scene. That's going here, Mr. Shrug, the Shrug Nation, welcome everybody into the stream. Top 16 already, time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, definitely. A lot of people are just having a lot of fun here, just trying to really get themselves into the swing of things. People having a fantastic time when it comes to Guilty Gear. But here we go again, game number 2. heyheylo is on the board, and they're putting quite a bit of pain with Zato. But as when we're in the topic of pain, that's quite a bit of health to already start off with. You're already bleeding health.
Yeah,
and that's the reason why!
You are going to be bleeding even more health, confirming to the Heavy Viper. Just break that wall. Positive bonus for Soul, it's not something that you can deal with. Confirm, and 1, 2, 3. Another one for Rush. And yeah, that's the problem. The moment that you get attacked with from Soul, if it's a true starter, you are dead. But if you can deal with that, you can deal with all those shenanigans and survive the heavy volcanic vipers. You can be good, but doesn't matter when you are dealing with all of that. Damn the amount of damage.
Mind you, that was a JD starter, and it was able to get a full confirm off of that. Some decent damage on Zato. Is going to be able to work with burst. heyheylo is not a stranger to having to play with limitations here, but still, it's the fact that they've got to operate so many resources at once, and one of the most pivotal resources taking quite a while to be able to come back. That was a misinput. I know for a fact that was a misinput.
Yeah, that was just a JD not going for a deflection. But hey, things happen. We are all human after all. As far as I know, I don't know any cyborgs yet.
There you go. Okay. The beater is almost back. Does miss out on that 5K, but that not a punish to really boot with it. But heyheylo evening the odds here with a round apiece for both of them. Now it's just going to be a matter of time before Rush can really get into the space, really get themselves started, trying to do so with the Volcanic Viper, but just being a little bit too abrasive here, and gets caught out with a 30% combo by heyheylo here.
Yeah, too much aggression out of Rush is there, and luckily for Rush, that was that heavy version which can be Roman cancel still. And
just
now
trying to bait out YRC here.
Yeah. And the moment that there's the Roman, there's the confirm for heyheylo, immediately going for the Among Us, and that's more than enough. 2-0 for heyheylo.
Nicely done by heyheylo here, and to be able to keep themselves going and to really shut out any of Rush's potency here. Normally in a case like this, you would think it would be more on the side of Soul Bad Guy, but this is why you can never count out even any character, any player, and operating said characters. You always got to keep a close eye on who's operating the characters in particular, as heyheylo is moving in to get the kill, be able to close things out as they do smell blood in the water. It's time for them to get things started, but Rush, not really a stranger to want to get some damage on the board, is rushing into their absolute win condition.
Yeah, just getting in front of you while your back is in the corner, and that's going to be more than enough. Rush blazing, haha, through this first game.
Yeah, this is already a much more positive return and a lot more reward on their part, as they're able to get a lot more damage, a lot more combos mounted on their favor. They are still going to have to hold out against Eddie's sandwich situation, able to get quite a stable amount of damage, especially against Soul Bad Guy. That's a very stable damage combo for heyheylo here. Just trying to cut out any of the aerial approach and not able to get them in time. This is still a neutral game that Rush wants to play, but this is not what you want to get caught out by.
No,
there goes Zato's Eddie is dead.
Eddie is dead. Burst has already been spent. Only some Roman cancel that was already spent, which means that Rush has full reign to do whatever, but doesn't matter. Eddie is back, and Rush is near the corner. Oh, the side switch, the confirm. Not enough time to throw a burst, even if you wanted. Just keep it at that point.
At that point, you don't want to risk a burst bait and go into the next round with a burst disadvantage, because right here and now, this is a perfect opportunity to cash out on the damage you want, and that's the reason why you don't want to let heyheylo get started, and that's the reason why getting that Eddie gauge out is pivotal to them. Being able to use that DP off safely and keep that positional advantage. This is the thing that wants to keep them going, and this might be enough to kill if they can route correctly.
Yeah. It is enough to kill that 6H so fast, so devious. And getting that OTG, just doing it, and while we have a small glitch on the server, because if we don't have a glitch on the server, this is not Strife.
That was very solid from them. They were getting caught out by some unfortunate interactions, not really favoring them in positions where they could be doing better. But as far as things are considered, they're doing a fantastic job of landing these kill shots when they can. And this looks like a much better game for them. If they can keep this positivity going for them, heyheylo might actually have a game on their hands.
It is the possibility, but still, heyheylo still one game up. Rush and in set point if he gets that round. Rush still needs to do a lot of work. Meanwhile, heyheylo is just playing the good Zato game. No Eddie for a moment, doesn't matter. Gets the grab, another reversal out of Rush. But oh, counter hit, that's not looking good.
It's not looking fantastic for them as they're already working with the deficit, but this is Zato we're talking about. Deficits mean nothing if you could just out damage your opponent here. But they do have quite the deficit on board, and they do take the game off of Rush here, and this is set point for heyheylo. heyheylo just needs to keep focused, keep themselves in the game, keep themselves level, but this is not helping as all of these counter hits are just mounting. And we're just gonna get another wall break, and we're gonna build up quite a lot of damage here.
That was an 80% or more combo in 2 steps. And now heyheylo on the brink of death, facing another assault bad guy that's famous for just dealing damage. Half-Life already is taking out of Salt, taking the throw, that's a good start. On the... That DP, not killing yet. But this confirmed will.
Yeah, a little bit more aggressive. A little bit more aggressive in the aerial approaches, but this is actually helping Rush right here. Rush able to keep this level-headed, throwing out another DP, but able to get the positional advantage to be able to at least play the game that they want to play. But heyheylo is working with quite a bit on deck here, just utilizing the decentivized Eddie gauge to now make sure that Rush can't play the game they want to play, as they're going to go from one side to the next. We're going to the east, and we're going to set up that Eddie store so we can play our game once again, sending the fella out to play.
Exactly, somebody going to refresh all that Eddie gauge. Sol trying to refresh it, but doesn't matter, another Sunvoid. This is going to be more than enough. heyheylo 3-1 Rush at the end in a very even game. Even though it was a perfect, doesn't matter, that was a hell of a close game.
It was definitely a lot closer than initially was going to be, but as far as it shows, you know, you have to do what you got to do to kill your opponent off. And while they put up a very good effort, they put up a fantastic effort, there is the big elephant in the room. It doesn't matter how much damage you do if it's not enough to kill. And that's the reason why heyheylo overcame the odds. The damage output meant nothing. The amount of damage they were taking meant nothing, because they were not they did not yet decentivize to want to do their game plan, to want to play the game they want to play. They did get caught out with Eddie gauge being gone quite a bit, but the ratio of times when they got caught out versus where they got left alone was a lot higher in the aspect of being left alone, which actually benefited the game plan in the long run because they could be more aggressive with Eddie.
Yeah, that's true. At the end, it's the last pixel, the one that kills you. One life is more than 0, and therefore being at full, being at 1, it's gonna be the same. But this means that we have the very first qualified for top 8 on heyheylo. On the other side of the bracket, we have another one that's already qualified, Patachu, one of the killers. But we're going to see who's going to... Yep, Mr. Patachu, the one, the only.
Yeah, I know. I've heard a lot of Patachu back in season 3 or in season 2 actually when he was playing Sin. I've heard quite about him. Never really got to see him play much, but I know how potent his Sin was or is. I'm not sure if he's still playing anymore. I heard he's been on Elfeld as of late.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, transition to the Elfeld. Still feeling good, therefore still playing that. And getting results, so.
I mean, they're doing a fantastic job. They can play whoever they want to play. But from what I recall, he was out here putting in massive work for Sin, especially in the EU region, just putting a lot of pain into players, really showing the strengths and the overall gusto that the young Gear can do. And in season 3, really showing those strengths to light. And that's where I really heard a lot of Patachu's name. I heard a lot about him because of how strong his Sin was, how effective he was using his Sin. One of the stronger players to really touch the character. But you know, as this season has come out, DPRC being like dead in the water, and people just kind of really finding out that the character did get power crept. Sin did get hurt quite a bit from the new changes. Not so much that he's not playable, but I think it's as time went on, people really got to play against Sin more. They realized that the strength of the character was kind of overstated, as a lot of what he was really good at, in my eyes, is fairly reactable. And it's tough to say that, right? Because you could say anything is reactable in this game, but can you react to it? But I think with Sin, there's no other character I react to on a consistent basis than Sin.
Yeah, I agree on that. Since moves are sluggish. I think that's the perfect word. They are sluggish. They are effective. They do what they announce that they do, but they are sluggish. They are a little more telegraphed to everybody else. Therefore, you know that, yep, that's the overhead, that's the stun deeper, that's the DP. Therefore, you more or less can react to everything as you said. It's the one that's more reactable. And power creeping and everything like that. I still think that Sin has a place in the meta. Still very good, can deal a lot of damage, which is the important part at this point. If you don't deal damage, try to pick someone else. Sadly, it is what it is. It's not that you have a niche and the niche is gonna get fulfilled and you can do it. The way that they are going with this for right now, if you don't fulfill the niche of deal tons of damage and kill consistently, yeah. But
yeah, it's always going to be difficult to overcome that.
Yeah, it is what it is. But while we are waiting for the next competitor, because we have someone already on the scene, I still don't know for who we are waiting, because we have an A.B.A ready to go. I can't say the name because, sorry, as I told you before, I can't recognize everybody for their mains and avatars. I have limits. Therefore, I would like to remember everybody that we have that Macherino, exclamation point Macherino on chat. Claim them codes. Only 13 remaining. It's a really good job that we are doing here, claiming the codes, helping everybody. 25 on the prize pool. Not bad indeed.
Yeah, we're already looking pretty set for top 8. We are going to get one more match on the stream before we get to top 8 and transition to our team number 2 for the commentary booth, who will be making sure that you guys get sent out with a bang. But we're just the appetizer here. We're just trying to really set the tone for the rest of this entire thing. But after everything is going through, we are going to transition to our secondary team, who's going to commentate for top 8 and make sure you guys have an entertaining rest of your night. But for now, we're going to close off our commentary set with Crillou versus Yoish. And I actually have had the privilege of commentating Crillou before.
Nice, but a small correction to you. We will pass the baton after the Wrathgazer heyheylo game, the first one on top 8.
Oh really? I was not aware. My mistake.
It's tradition here. If you are doing the first shift, you at least get one top 8 match.
Yeah, I get you. Thank you for correcting me on that one. I'm still unfamiliar with this kind of territory, so I appreciate you guys for keeping me updated on that.
And don't worry at all. But what you should be worried is for Yoish's life. He's already almost and Crillou on that A.B.A. Doing a lot of damage now in Mohora state. That's not gonna be fun for anybody, and I don't think Zato is ecstatic.
Oh, definitely not. Even with burst in toe, you don't want to even consider using that. That was a fumble and a half. This gives them an opportunity to at least still fight back. And there is no jealousy on the screen for Crillou here. Crillou does not want to get caught out without their jealousy, as they're gonna have to hold a lot of pressure here. And this is actually super unfavorable for them. They had the opportunity to get the kill shot, but now that shot might have been gone and gone with the wind.
It can happen that. Ooh, beautiful reaction at the end. Crillou just noticing that Yoish was going to opt for that.
That was super necessary. They had no other opportunity. That was their last chance to be able to take that round off, because they didn't get the kill shot initially. That was a dead in the water set for them. But luckily for them, they were able to get that kill, and we are moving into next round. Yoish down around, using the intertwine until twice, trying to get that anti-air. But still looking pretty healthy for them, as they're going to be on the back foot with this cash out early, and Yoish is going to get a positive bonus situation from it.
The positive bonus is good, but you don't underestimate any A.B.A at all, because one confirm can be a death sentence. We have already transformed into Mogora full bar of jealousy. That's gonna be perfectly for that. Danzai into another transform against the wall. Super to get another transformation positive bonus. The hard knockdown, everything in between. Throw everything, including the kitchen sink against Yoish. Confirms, bites the burst, and another Danzai to kill.
How disrespectful from Crillou to not only be able to get the combo that leads to the kill shot, but still have enough meter to be like, you know what, let's just test the waters, you know, just for old time's sake. Let's see, like, honey, let's get that burst while we're at it. Get a little bit of an anniversary gift while we're here.
He came, he saw, he conquered that first match. 2 more to go, but that was an exhibition on how to manage A.B.A and all their resources.
It's a fantastic way to get things going. That first round, a little bit more concerning on their part, but they definitely cleaned it up and definitely reconvened with themselves. Really wanting to get the kill shot a little bit more effectively. But again, early set mistakes are something you'd rather make right away than to have them happen later on in the tournament when it really matters. So Crillou getting lucky there, a little bit of lady luck benefiting them. Meanwhile, Yoish is going to have to start thinking this through once again, really trying to get that cash out, trying to get that pivotal hit necessary to get the kill shot too, because while they were in a dominant place to get the first round and get first blood, they just weren't able to close it out in time, as Krillou's like defiance just didn't allow them to get there.
Exactly, and now Crillou. Burst already spent, still having enough bar to transform into Mogora, but Yoish putting the pressure. They have the one confirm Mogora state, invoke Danzai. RC just to get the stun, get the transformation with the wall break. Deal as much damage as you can and get yourself in the best position to not let Yoish play. Mogora state is still on, and Eddie is not. It's dead. Until Eddie, Yoish only has a bar of burst. Oh my god! That was a slingshot.
Yeah, you've got to be very careful. You can't afford to make these options go in the favor of either player. And Yoish finally on the prowl here, but they've got to really be wary, because they've been utilizing a lot of their Eddie gauge, especially aggressively. They've just been more reluctant to hold onto the meter and utilize it for better situations and better Oki. But if it gets the job done, by all means.
Exactly, by all means, go do it. Yoish gets the first game of the round. That just makes it, and Crillou bursting into a Mogora. Yoish just wasting all the time that he can, so that bar gets empty. And now it's full aggression by Yoish.
Yeah, the OS being able to shut down any sort of mash options with the oppose, so that way they can still run their game plan freely, even if they were able to jump out, that oppose covering them at all times. And this is why you don't want to get caught out with no resources, because unlike Yoish here, Crillou doesn't have the benefit of having a recharging gauge. They just have to hold this and find a hit necessary. And that perfect seals out the second game. And that means Yoish is being a little bit more dominant here. They're being a little bit more considerate of their resources, realizing that maybe holding on to the resources might be the better way to handle this, because Crillou doesn't have the benefit of recharging passively here.
Exactly. No mana slash jealousy slash whatever name that you want to give to the resource. Official jealousy bar at the end is whatever. It's the mana bar, if you want to put it that way. Minimum to transform and get spent at X per second. Everything is mana at the end.
I mean, everything at some point, it's going to be a secondary gauge. Hell, you could even call it the blood gauge if you want, because all Crillou can see is red once they pop that jealousy rage whatsoever. Blood is in the water. But both these players casting the first strike on both of their life bleeds, but Yoish is one up and is able to go neck and neck with Crillou here. So the scores are even.
Exactly, but I have the feeling they are not going to even for much more. Crillou immediately putting Yoish into the corner. I think they confirm, not going for the Magora, then we have the transformation. But Yoish managing to wait long enough, get the hits, get the confirms, get the counter, and more importantly, waste time. Only now Crillou can do some damage, but that's not perfect for him. But okay, I shut up.
Yeah, it looked more like it was going to be a situation of like, how are you going to maintain this jealousy rage and still keep the offense going? But just the wall break to seal it out might have been just all they needed. It's 1-1. Yoish took a game off, so the scores are 1-1. So the scores are level, and it's looking like a more of a level set anyway, as Yoish is now firmly trying to trade blows with Crillou. They're trading the dominance in the rounds nowadays. Goes with the cash out on the sword super, decides to keep that Eddie gauge, cashes out and be able to restore whatever gauge they can. Just jump them. Let them know. You're in my block now. Jump them.
Oh, there it is. He with the wild assault, but Crillou standing all that storm, still standing. Boost is already ready to go and big counter hit. Transformation, keep the party going. Now, drop the combo at the end, but doesn't matter, gets a grab. Danzai is gonna get the wall. This wall bounce doesn't matter. 26 combo at the end. What are we playing, Marvel?
I think we might. I mean, they did utilize a lot of that resource to be able to keep their jealousy rage up, and that's the reason why, is you're going to get that overhead off the intertwine until and able to take the third game, that pivotal game 3, and did so without so much as a struggle from Yoish. Yoish just had no answer to any of this resource management game that Crillou has been playing, and so far, in between the two of them, Crillou has been a lot more vigilant when it comes to managing the resource than Yoish has. As a matter of fact, I'd argue Crillou has been doing a better job of managing the resource than both Zato players we've had on stream.
Probably at the end, the being a non-rechargeable mana bar, it's more important that you know how to deal with that. Because if you don't have mana, or jealousy, or whatever you want to call it, fuck it at this point. Yeah, it's a 2-1 for Crillou. Yeah. The laundry. Classic. But, yep, at the end, if you can... It's a game of resources. Always has been. So let's see how Yoish can do it, but this is not looking good for Yoish. Immediate burst out. Crillou still managing to save enough bar to do another transformation, but good jump out by Yoish, but the defense is not buckling.
Here we go. So far, no Eddie gauge again. This is a constant for the Zato players today, as the resource management has just been very difficult for them today, or they've just been deciding that the way to play this game is to be aggressive as possible and then utilize the woes whenever, like clean up the woes whenever they're present, as they are going to get the first round off in game number 4, and Yoish needs this. Yoish needs this momentum to switch. Otherwise, it's going to be lights out for them, and they're going to be moving on into the loser side of the bracket. But they're not thinking about that right now. They're thinking about being able to get the dominance early going, trying to open up their opponent here. And that's the reason why the strike throw being an opening factor to get that opener, then they need to get the wall break. Just backing off, and they're trying until catching their backdash.
Yeah. But the end, Yoish getting out of there, just wasting half a father. Crillou still trying to get the openings. But more importantly, now only gets enough bar to do the full transformation. Which means that one hit we can see the transformation. Okay, grab. And he confirmed not yet. Trying to play, but missing.
Yeah, one thing Yoish cannot afford to do either is play the skies as comfortably as they want, as A.B.A 2S is so potent in being able to contest the airspace, considering that it's one of the more unique anti-air normals in the game, especially for like a crouching normal. It's insanely pivotal in utilizing a lot of that resource gain.
Oh no! Not even the deflect shield can stop the Danzai! Yoish, less than half bar, only 10 seconds spent in this game.
That's just the potency that this character offers. Because you got that plus R2S. We talked about plus R earlier. That plus R2S still remains. And that's the reason why you can't play the airspace against this character. This character will punish you for playing to that kind of strength. But luckily for Yoish, they do have meter on deck. They have meter on deck to burn through. They force Crillou to burn through the flex shield. Now you're gonna have to hold that. You're gonna have to hold the clappity clap 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 neutral that is Yoish's Zato gameplay. And they even the scores!
Exactly! Out of a very rough situation that Yoish was put onto. Climbing back, tying the series 2-2, we are going to the first game 5 of the stream!
So far, so good. This is really leading up to some very heavy-hitting sets. We're finally getting a Game 5 in this tournament, and I'm excited. This is our first Game 5 out of a tournament of 3 1s and 3 0s. This is our first Game 5, and I'm excited to see this Lapsus.
Oof, I mean, Kappa, this is always the best part. And if you want to ask, there's a course that at some point we're going to get either all 3 O's or all the top 8 is going to go to 5. Don't ask me why, tends to happen.
I mean, it's beautiful, man. Just seeing very evenly contested matches in places where a lot of our sets have been very dominant. But now we're gonna go into your final game. And if this goes the way I think it's gonna go, we're gonna go double Luigi. We're gonna get double, like, last game, last round.
Exactly. The Luigis are more than a chance. They are almost a guarantee in these tournaments. But and Crillou is trying to put it in this situation at least on its end.
That was Yoish, an impressive chase down too from the air. You see that?
Yeah, not something that you see regularly. Oh my God, Yoish. Good usage!
What?
Oh, that OTG is that hard?
No, I think they didn't block on wake up and it got the wall break. That is not a good sign of things to come for Crillou here. They do get the counter hit off the failed YRC, but that is concerning work. But luckily for them, things get cleaned up and they could just forget about that ever happened. And now Crillou is set in point. Yoish right now fighting for that winner's side spot, not wanting to back down yet. Wanting to show the Zato bro, they still got it here again. Now be
Kappa, are you GLaDOS or are you Kappa?
I'm Kappa. Hello.
Perfect. Because there was a moment that was almost GLaDOS.
Yeah. So yeah, we finally got the mic thing sorted out. So I'm gonna double check if you could just speak on the mic real fast.
Yeah. We can, and it's good. Everything's confirmed.
Yeah, everything is good.
Yeah, change the Discord server. Ooh. To Rotterdam, which is working more or less right now.
Yeah,
Normal
we are
thing.
doing much better now, but like, again, this was a back and forth between both competitors, but only one could remain, and that means that Crillou does advance off of the game 5 to play against Patachu in the first game. So that, like, in their top 8 set in winner's side. Unfortunately for Yoish, because they put up a really solid effort, but you know, you're not out yet. You still have the opportunity to make that loser's top 8 and get yourself on that bracket, get yourself that money, you know, pick up on that extra change in your pocket. We're doing a little bit something strange and neutral for a little bit of an extra change.
Exactly, and it's not going to be easy. The loser's route is stuck. Zato-Van is there. Either Brew or the Captain gonna be facing that. I don't want to be there. Rush versus guessing game. Cataclyv is gonna be facing either TatamiGalaxy or Karamachan. And the other one, Yoish versus Resil. That the Bedman. I don't want to be there.
Yeah, I know about Resil's Bedman. I've been there and I've seen what they're capable of, as I have commentated them for Strive for Glory, if I'm not mistaken, and they were an active menace in the neutral game. They are like Resil versus Plime. Plime was the more calculated of the two, but Resil was the most diabolically aggressive of the two.
Yeah, it's fun to play in Resil. One of the best, but oof. If playing Bedman is not something that you usually fancy, you don't want to face that Bedman. But hey, we have another game on deck, another season 1 banger.
Oh,
the original Vampire.
This was one of my favorite matchups back in season 1, actually, because my friend who is from Vietnam, who lives in NA, he is a pop player. And I'm a Nago player by heart. Like, this was one of my favorite matchups back in season 1.
Yes, so you have all the insight on this matchup. I know that times changes, but as you said, not something that we usually see.
Yeah, this matchup in particular has only gotten like very, very skewed. Both these players have, I would say this matchup goes relatively even when both these players get started. But right now it seems like Wrathgazer is the one that's going to get things going, as they're going to just trade blows. This is a matchup of beefy aptitude, and that's the reason why. Just big, beefy men bumping meat. And this is such a heavy-hitting set already from the opening gate, and you can see it why. But so far, heyheylo hasn't gotten anything started with their Nago. Getting started with the Zato first and foremost, but now they're just switching over to a much meatier character in order to get things going in their favor.
Exactly. But Wrathgazer still not letting them play at all. The second pot faster of the day, and has no resources to go for any confirm afterward, doesn't matter. Faster C, 6H, 1-0. Let the speedrun start, because I don't think we're going to be here for a fun time, not a long time.
Oh, definitely. Like in a matchup like this, you cannot play this game slowly, or you cannot play this game too slow, because either player just gets started.
Yeah.
If you play too slow, either character can get a whiff punish. If you play too fast, the match is just going to go into a scramble fest. This is a matchup of pure patience. As I would say, now it looks like heyheylo decides, you know what, to hell with this. I'm going to go with the tried and true and lock down Wrathgazer. And that's probably for the best. Try to lock down your opponent from using their best options and have more control over your options too. But there is that trade-off. You have better movement, better control of the neutral game, but you don't have control over how much damage you take.
No, as I said, you are trading power and blows and a large health pool into lower health pool, better movement, but you are still susceptible to being Potemkin busted like 2 times and dead. But now, Wrathgazer already going for a pressure. He already dealt a lot of damage into Wrathgazer, but it doesn't matter at the end. Oh, more importantly, Risa maximum. Damn, that's Half-Life.
Yeah, that is a lot of life gone, and you cannot afford to be making these mistakes, and that's why heyheylo making the switch not benefiting him as much as they would have liked, and this is not a very great way to go with its winner's side top 8. But they are going to use the most underrepresented tool in this game, that's 6K. And now there's Eddie gone. You have no one to fall back to. There's no one there to save you. Even with 50 meter, you've got to just hold that.
Oh
no. It's over. It's so Jover.
It's so Jover. Yeah, because if the Potemkin Buster doesn't kill you, the hit, knuckle, will, and 2-0 in a fast version for Wrathgazer. Before we said that, yeah, that will be fast because neither player want to defend. This time it's just because Zato doesn't have the life pool to do that. 2-0 heyheylo. That's looking like a steamroll right now.
Yeah, Wrathgazer just not being able to get anything for themselves. heyheylo's not able to get much off of Wrathgazer, and they made the switch too. Like they did the switch to their most comfortable character. They're trying to get the game plan going that they want to play. The Nago game plan didn't work. Their Zato game plan isn't working. You're running out of options here. You're running out of opportunities. You've got to make do on your chances. Otherwise, you're just going into loser's side.
Exactly. Let's see. This time, heyheylo already putting Wrathgazer on the corner, but the problem is that it's a Potemkin. As long as it has 1 health, doesn't even matter. Can kill you from 2 touches.
I mean, he is a robbery character. The moment he gets a pop buster, it just genuinely changes the tide of the game. He gets 1 knockdown, 1 Garuda. Oh, you better say goodbye to your health bar. But speaking of health bars right now, that is a low health bar for Wrathgazer. But again, none of that matters if you can't get the last pixel out. If you don't see Slash, you aren't playing the game.
Exactly, okay. Oh! Good Psycho, but still okay. The chip damage probably at that point.
Yeah, you genuinely want to be more careful with this. This is the opportunity to make a comeback here, but Wrathgazer cannot be afforded any opportunities to get started. Otherwise, heyheylo is going to back out without so much as a whimper.
Exactly, okay. Another good startup for heyheylo, doing a lot of damage to Wrathgazer. Locked into that corner again.
Nice deflection.
Yeah, doing good amount of job of work, but not enough. And the beautiful RC at that point, just getting that time slow.
Trying to lock him down here. This is looking like a pretty stable situation for them. They just need to keep this momentum going for them, and that is going to get a positive turn of events for them. But this is not great. They're getting reset. Blocking it out, just staying long enough. That -3 being a huge change for them, but this is not going to be enough to kill. They need 1 more interaction, and that's it. But no resources available. You've got to be careful. Trying to be creative is going to get you caught out, but luckily you're able to circumvent this threat just long enough to be able to give yourself another chance. And speaking of circumvent threats and chances, I need you to circumvent my inability to commentate this next round, as I got to go do some laundry real fast. Pick it up from the laundry mat real fast.
Damn, okay.
I'll be right back shortly.
Well, if it's going to be that fast, probably it's going to be the end of our shift, because those things do happen. But hey, we have right now 2-1 Wrathgazer, almost ready, almost into winners finals. But before them, another heyheylo. This is a tough situation. Both players playing the neutral, but no, Wrathgazer gonna put heyheylo in the corner. There is the pot buster. That's like the 5th of the series. Blocks the burst. So no burst for heyheylo. Almost no bar of butter now. Starting to build it back. Wrathgazer hitting a combo. Not 2 hits. Enough to reset, but oh. Garuda confirmed. Tap dash makes it. Hit knuckle is gonna put Wrathgazer on set point for that winners finals. Good backdash, but still gonna attack Wrathgazer. Gold burst. Shift. Positive bonus for them. Trying to open up heyheylo, but there is the opening. 1 Garuda. Oh, walking menacingly, putting heyheylo onto that corner. 6p onto the flicker. That's a good startup, but that's not enough to fulfill your destiny. Wrathgazer still putting all the pressure. Deflect shield, good tool but not enough. Risk is building up high. It's already on the red again. Almost full risk. Wrathgazer half bar of butter. Gonna get cash up right now. Flick kick into the hit knuckle, and this is enough. This is enough. Wrathgazer is gonna get himself a position into that winners finals. And while we are staring on the lifeless body of the beer avatar of Sir Kappa, that's there. This been a very good game. So yeah, that's the first game of top 8. That should be the end for Kappa and myself. We're going to pass the baton to another two gentlemen that are well known here. Like one of them is already on the lobby, which just unmute yourself, say hello. To be fair.
You guys have to do your rounds of shoutouts, no?
Yeah, technically yes, but the problem is that Kappa is out.
Oh, okay. Dej.
Yeah. No, yeah, it happens. But hey, if you want to hear more of myself, because, well, I don't have a Kappa to sign me up, but doesn't matter, we can do it. You can find me mostly on these discords. I do have Twitter and Blue Sky, both at Carlapsus. You can find me. They have almost the same imagery and brandings, if you want to call it like that. So yeah, if you find a Wololo monk there that's called Carlapsus, it's me. Easy. Both on Twitter and Blue Sky. Carlapsus in one, carlapsus.bluesky.social and everything like that. But I think we have a game, so bye!
Bye. Oh, wait. Okay, hello, it's me, Yurker. My co-commentator isn't here yet, so I'm gonna try holding this fort down by myself in the mid. Holy shit, I'm getting blindsided right here. Who we've seen, Patachu versus Crillou. Alright, epic. Patachu starting it off nice and strong, putting Crillou straight into the corner, already running that immaculate sim pressure, but a nice long range press from Crillou is going to cut that short straight into the sickle flashes, trying to control some space. Push him away, let's get out of this corner ASAP, Wild Assault to do so, and wow, nice close slash anti-air, getting getting the burst out of Patachu was a good start for sure. Backdash on the command grab, alright. I like the style, going to the Tyrant Barrel for that quick wall break, both health roughly even here. Still, the positive meter bonus. Oh my god, the RC on the backdash. Just too much happening right now, but Crillou needs to look out here. Stuck into the corner. 50 meter is available, but that nice challenge. He's going to be calling it out. No burst available, and with this conversion, he's going to take the first round. Wow, ooh, big punish. He's going to get the spicy little combo as well. Half health already gone. Now set up that zoning, trying to control the advance of Patachu as much as possible, but finds the air dash in, finds a 5k, slowly but surely pushing Crillou in towards the corner. Ooh. Just avoid the big driver. Barely. Alright, pressure keeps it going. Still 50 meter available. Goes for the Wild Assault to get that extension. Will we see the Tyrant Barrel? Yes, sir. We'll be getting about half health done here. Crillou close to burst. We'll see if anything comes out to try and secure this first game. Hits that low stomp, scuff those Jordans. RC for the extension is enough to kill. No, drops the combo, but finds the overhead. Again, drops it, but the throw. Okay, Patachu staying alive. Final round here in game 1.
Yeah, fake close slash there to guarantee the throw, scaring out Crillou so they won't move. But Patachu immediately gets that jumper with that JS into a combo. Crillou not wanting it, spends that burst early. Patachu doing the same, try to keep Crillou in the corner now.
Ooh, nice jump from the throw, but unfortunately a little wrong option on the punish there. It is now going to give Patachu not only the the escape from the punish, but this pressure straight into the other side of the screen.
Yeah, and catches with the hoof stomp. RC want to keep that safe, not enough to kill, but one more hit for Patachu will do it here. Elcon is hit, but not enough. But one more hit.
Good challenge, pushing back to the corner, side swap. Immediately drops the pressure there, and the PRC throw is going to do it. Patachu is going to be taking game 1. Also, hello, Variety.
Yeah, hi. I just had to set up Video Ninja on my new laptop, so that's why it took a little bit longer than usual.
It is like that. It's like that. I mean, we're going straight into the action. So great recovery from there. Hope you're doing well. We'll probably get the pleasantries further out the way as this goes along, as we're heading straight into game 2. Patachu versus Crillou.
Yeah, it is going very, very quickly so far. So to keep up with that speed, we are going to get our quick game 2 on right now.
Strong opening here from Crillou, using that Wild Assault to get a bit of the extension, catches the backdash, putting Patachu locked in towards the corner, tries to challenge up, but again, great spacing is going to deny that, but finds the DP straight through. Overhead connecting, push him all the way to the corner. This should be a clean wall break. No super for the hard knockdown, but still great damage on the side of Patachu. Excellent health swing, and that's going to be the burst coming out from Crillou.
Yeah, and that is 50 health off of Crillou, and a frail character's Axel, so that's a lot more than what Crillou could take off Patachu for 50. And we keep going in. Crillou blocking all these lows. Potentially, yeah, I was going to say set up for an overhead, but Crillou ready for it anyways.
Yeah, it's going to get a little cute conversion here. Still, slight life deficit burst available for Patachu. Look, does have this 50 meters, so any hit should be able to convert. But it's going to be the question if he's going to bait the burst or not. So far, poking away at Patachu. Patachu trying to patiently approach Crillou here. Lands, oh my god, just doesn't want to hold minus frames to go straight into Hogbaker, claiming the first round.
Yeah, very, very well taken by Patachu there. But will he be able to take the next round? Let's just see. Starting off very, very well with that anti-air 5P. But not enough to get through the wall. The gravity scaling's a little too high there. Crillou hanging on. Not going to have to deal with the positive bonus here.
Absolutely, just backing off a little bit. Use that Axel range to your advantage. Immediately air dashing as I say that. And it's going to go straight back into this Patachu pressure again. But finds the A.B.A. is able to escape. Sets up the heavy tornado here. Trying to back away, control the space some more. But Wild Assault straight back in. Finds the hit and is going to be going into a slight drop, unfortunately. And eating the Hogbaker right after it. You hate to see it.
Yeah, no, the Hogbaker coming straight out, and that's going to be a big punish there with the super for the hard knockdown wall break. This is looking very, very bad for Crillou. The bomber.
Wait, that's not invuln. Hold on. What are you cooking here? What are they feeding Crillou?
I have no idea, but whatever it is, it seems to be what he needs. Working out in his favor. Going to try and get the anti-air with the 5P, but the super comes out, and it's going to hit the extended hurt box. And that is going to be Patachu extending into a 2-0 lead here.
Man, those reactions to go straight into the RTL after seeing the PRC and then the 5P to just try and check that air approach from Patachu. So good stuff there. And indeed, getting a nice solid 2-0 lead. So Crillou is going to have to dig deep already. Was trying to already pull out the funny stuffs here in game 2. Kind of to decent success, but unfortunately wasn't able to find the closing hits to be able to take some rounds and even a game yet. So let's see how much deeper Crillou can dig to overcome Patachu. If Patachu is just going to make it a clean 3-0.
Yeah, well, Crillou is starting out the same way they started out the last time with a good bit of advantage, but Patachu able to quickly overturn that, putting Crillou into the corner with no burst on their side. Going for the 2 overheads, trying to bait the throw and going for a third one, blocked by Crillou here, and now the lows are coming out.
Yeah, giving Crillou now the room to press some buttons, swapping out of the corner now, trying to approach on his own terms. From lockdown, nice stagger pressure is going to find himself a nice comfortable hit, and so it's going to be unfortunately dropping the combo there. That could have been killed, let alone a lot of damage, but finds the next hit and will close out. A nice confident round coming out from Crillou here.
Yeah, in the end, a little bit of a hiccup, but Crillou able to recover there. But, oh, this might be a little bit harder to recover from. Massive counter hit, close slash hit from Patachu, knocking the wall break, but still going to have that dominant corner position.
Yeah, now giving a little bit space with a big counter hit to HS. Unfortunately, dropping the combo here. Nice air throw of Crillou, trying to do a little bit of mix-ups with the air dash. Finds the next hit and is going to go into that Tyrant Barrel, putting Patachu on set point over Crillou.
Yeah, no, this has been a complete dominant set from Patachu so far, but Crillou still able to fight back, just a little low on firepower at the moment, not able to contend with what Patachu is throwing at them with that 6P, but the wake-up throw is going to help Crillou a lot here.
Yeah, set himself some nice pressure, finds a low, is going to get that tornado hit. And unfortunately, no super to be able to get the kill, but still a pixel health available here for Patachu. Is going to have to use that burst preemptively if they want to see value out of that burst at all. Going to go for that wild assault for that extension and driving him back the way he came. No hard knockdown, but still just that one last hit is all Crillou needs.
Yeah, Patachu feeling a little bit scared, jumping in the air there, so decides to spend that deflect shield, so no burst on the side now to try and help him out, and he doesn't even get the chance to use any of it. Crillou is going to fight their way back into the set with a 2-1.
Absolutely. So we'll see if what they have left in the tank is enough to make this comeback, or if Patachu is just going to take this comfortable space of like one more game faulty space to be able to counter adapt to whatever Krillou's been coming up with to take this game.
Yeah, no, Crillou still quite a bit to get through to take the set off Patachu. One game is not enough. You do need 2 extra on your side to be able to take it over the Big Sin.
Absolutely, back to back. I'm also surprised to see Patachu back on the Sin, considering his most recent runs just being on Elfelt and just enjoying that character overall. So it might just be one of those things of like, I haven't played Sin in a minute and I need to keep this character in the repertoire.
Yeah, no, Patachu is a player like that, and we noticed Krillou's kind of trying to do the same thing, you know, known for the A.B.A and sometimes Bridget, but now displaying the Axel in the tournament's very, very weird, but it seems to be working out pretty well, seeing them in the winner's side here against Patachu, and they're not doing all too bad right now, so...
Yeah, so far Crillou has been getting these really strong starts, getting a nice life lead, but unfortunately for him, Patachu is able to find the comeback and of course get that hell swing, but this super is going to be nice on this overhead, but we saw the RC frames coming out, but not fast enough, I suppose.
Yeah, no, RC does have a startup there and are counter hittable, so that's why we saw the counter hit in the super, but we also saw a counter hit there from both players on that air-to-air, but it's going to go to Patachu's favor as the health was in their side.
Absolutely, putting themselves back on set point here. So now Crillou taking a more standard approach to Axel, that zoning, you know, stay at that distance, and wow, just like that one air dash puts Patachu right in their face. And now trying to get that mid-range, trying to avoid the corner as much as possible, just air dash away, try to play it as tricky as possible, but there we go, a big counter hit into the time stop combo.
Yeah, and this is a pretty big combo with a bunch of Axel Bombers in here, but failed the last one, sadly, and is going to get an OTG and not be able to continue their pressure, but the jump back on the defense is perfect, and the 2K. Crillou is a defense demon at the moment.
Narrowly avoiding the big driver, but still find themselves back in the corner. Again, that last situation before. Needed that final hit and does find it, so still staying alive. Nevertheless, Patachu is on that set point close to burst, so the advantage is still in their favor. What an air throw, starting it off here.
Yeah, and as we see once again, Crillou usually starting off on the first foot, but it doesn't seem to be able to keep it up throughout the entire game, but it looks like this is very, very good for Crillou. Not much more to go, just 1 or 2 more hits to find. One more because of that first, but Patachu finds a big one in return.
Absolutely, now stuck in the corner, having to hold this pressure. A good amount of tension is available to try and FD him out, finds the overhead, finds low now. Now the throw on top of it, you're just getting mixed, and small hits are building up, getting that life advantage, but finds the A.B.A, and Crillou is going to be tying up the set, bringing it down to a final game situation here.
Yeah, no, Krillou's defense in the set has been absolutely criminal. The 2K's coming out at the perfect time and almost dodging every single throw. It's almost like when Patachu decides to throw, he's always up backing. Whenever he's trying to leave a gap, the 2K is right there to snatch that away from him. But Patachu, definitely a bit of a shock here. Trying to close out the set for so long, and Crillou just hanging on the edge. Let's just see if they can close it out in this final game of this set.
Yeah, or if Crillou makes that reverse sweep happen here, so anything is possible. What started off really rough for Crillou, finding difficulty to get a footing in the set, right, to claim rounds of their own, has now slowly been swinging towards a lot more confident play here, especially that round start dominance is giving them a lot more health to be able to play with, and especially with the mix-ups that Sin has, you are glad to trade some of that health to find yourself that opportunity to match out.
Yeah, absolutely, and Crillou has been pretty good at blocking these mix-ups currently, but Axel having such a low amount of HP means any big opening, or any even small opening for that matter for Patachu, is going to be mountains to help them close out this last game against Crillou, and I'm pretty sure the burst is going to be held here. No point in spending this much of a life deficit. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so we're going into potentially the final round here. Both players burst available. Crillou is going to have to make this one count to stay alive in their winner's run. So far keeping the early start and the pressure, but eats a Hogbaker. That's going to open up the opportunities here for Patachu, but just like that gets thrown out. So still Crillou maintaining a little bit of control here. Nice life lead is going to be a good necessary tool here to be able to survive a lot of these Sin mix-ups.
Yeah, but still, speaking of those mix-ups, that overhead is going to connect, and that is almost 60% of Axel's health gone from a single hit there. Patachu must be feeling good about that. Just a little bit closer to closing out this set and finding themselves in winners finals, but Crillou doing the exact same with that throw. Patachu desperation with the super close slash. Crillou has to hold this. Their defense needs this. Stay strong here. Gets clipped, but no confirm, and the throw is gonna find it. And the super! Oh my god, Crillou is still in this.
So just like that with the super, final game, final round, double Luigi situation. Patachu does have the slight burst gauge advantage here, has the burst function, or sort of burst ability available, right? Wild Assault or Deflect Shield. So Crillou is going to have to try and bait that up or wait for his burst to come up. So far, the round, the health lead looking really nice here. Also good on that 50% tension.
Yeah, and Patachu really hasn't been able to find their way in yet at all in this round. Has burst on deck at the moment, but needs to find some kind of good place to try and spend it. A gold burst could be good here with the life deficit, but very risky play. But the 2K's coming out in the burst bait, and Crillou is going to take that set over Patachu with a reverse 3-0, ending it with the bomber that started their reverse 3-0 in the first place.
So bros, the dream is real. Oh my god, what a way to style it on that finish as well. So great stuff from Crillou. Really good to be able to dig deep and find the necessary adjustments to be able to overcome Patachu. Especially like finally capitalizing on those life leads he gets in the early start of a round.
Yeah,
So
absolutely amazing there from Crillou, and is going to find themselves in winners finals, waiting for later in the tournament where they can fight Wrathgazer for the chance at the winner side slot in grand finals. But we look down into the loser's side of the bracket, and it seems we have Zato-Van beating the captain 3-2 to find themselves in our loser's side of the bracket for top 8, and Rush Blazing taking it over guessing game to find themselves fighting the Asuka player.
Followed by, well, you're gonna have to help me out with that one. Name, what's that?
Cataclyv. Cataclyv is
there you go.
Baiken.
Baiken versus the Resil, also a common top 8er, I'd say, here now with the Bedman. But I believe we're going to be getting that, oh no, it says Zato-Van versus Rush first, so we're going to be holding on to that Wrathgazer Crillou game for the time being. So while we wait on those players to come in, we still got those last 5 Matcherino codes to be claimed, so head on over there, just let's not stumble at the finish line, let's say, right? And claim those codes. We know the drill. Somebody give me that Matcherino link, please. And we can get these players that good old pop bonus from the community. Free money.
Yeah, that is great work so far on the codes. 5 left. We're just so close to the finish line. Just 5 more, and we can finish it out really early in the bracket. I think I don't think we finished out the codes this early in a bracket in ages. So if we can do that, that would be great.
The signs were looking great as well. Like, I think I booted up the stream, 25 codes already gone. Like, that's some impressive work. I don't know what happened this week that made it special, that a lot of people decided to tap in nice and early and remember, like, oh yeah, there's Matcherino codes. But you know, good stuff from the community so far. So again, the last 5, let's not stumble before the finish line here and claim those remaining codes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So while we wait on that, Zato-Van Asuka versus Rush. You're gonna have to help me here. Where'd they play again?
Rush is on Soul, so we're gonna see a lot of explosive stuff here. Rush, like with this matchup, Rush is gonna have to find a few openings between the cubes to try and find their way in. But once they get in, if they can start reducing that mana on Zato-Van or find an opening at a good spot where Zato-Van is particularly low on mana in the first place would be very, very good. That's sort of what they're going to be looking for, to try and find some big counter hits here, to try and absolutely delete Asuka's health, because this is still really, really tough for Soul to try and get through the wave of cubes and finally approach the wizard.
Absolutely. I'm curious to see what the go-to button for Rush is going to be here to be able to challenge those cubes and get them off the screen as soon as possible. And I'm going to be...
Do know that obviously the 2 and 5 Ps are very, very popular for almost every character taking out the cubes, but for Soul specifically, I can't really think of anything that is outstanding to really take on those like waves of cubes that Zato-Van's going to be wanting to throw at them, but the 3-frame 5k and the DP are going to be very, very important on that defense, where Zato-Van's going to want to be throwing out these 50-50s with slight gaps where that DP or 5k can really show its value.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing whether or not Rush has the awareness to find the opportunities to challenge the onslaught coming out from Zato-Van and the Asuka pressure. Also, I'm going to see if there's going to become some slight adjustment out of Zato-Van. Usually, the way I've seen these Asuka like to do all their spell casting is quite literally in your face. They just keep casting it, let these cubes run as they're just throwing out gang signs, getting the next spell loaded up, and you're kind of just stuck there holding it. So possibly to take a little bit more distance as to avoid the potential DP to come out from Soul, challenging straight through all the cubes and also doing a nice grip of damage, right? The heavy Volcanic Viper, unfortunately, no longer invuln, so it can't be dishing out like TOD levels of damage, but nevertheless, I think a good old Slash Volcanic Viper.
Even the Slash version there is going to despawn all the cubes and stabilize your game plan and reset neutral, but even then, if Zato-Van does have the right, play on that knockdown, it's going to be very, very hard for Rush to keep it stabilized for that long, because Zato-Van will just fill up the screen with cubes within seconds, and you need to be ready to answer that at a moment's notice. So we're just going to have to see if Rush has it in him to be able to keep up with the speed that Zato-Van likes to play at.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, all the speculating is well and good if the Rush decides to show up at all. As we are still waiting on him, and Zato-Van is patiently awaiting their opponent to show up.
Yeah,
Anybody
I wonder, have we set the ping yet, or no? Have we seen
a reply
from Rush?
We have a reply from Rush on top of it.
Okay, so shouldn't be too much longer, maybe a minute at most. Rush should be here at any second.
Okay, I'd like to tenure my resignation from SaltyEU commentary. Thank you, Isaac, for that one. My eyes.
There we go. Rush is now in the room, and we should be getting the set started in a few seconds. Here, Zato-Van being seed 1 of the bracket, gonna be fighting Rush. So big opponent here for Rush to try and take out pretty early in the bracket, I'd say, for loser's side.
Yeah, especially with the one to send Zato-Van earlier down was Wrathgazer, so it's interesting to see.
Wow.
Yeah. So especially Wrathgazer, 8th seed, might just also be, Wrathgazer. I think Zato-Van has been on their recent tear, so they've been definitely enjoying some of those ELO games, and Wrathgazer has been sporadically showing up, so it might be a more apprehensive rating for himself. But right now, Zato-Van starting off nice and strong, great, quick wall break already.
Yeah, and most importantly, in the hand right now is the speed staff, but not wanting to spend it just yet, going for the slow staff instead, trying to cycle that out of their hand while they can. Has a DP there with the overhead, and the speed staff is out, so this is very, very bad for Rush. That guard crush chip damage is going to be piling up, but finally gets to the wave, but not enough. He's going to have to lose this round, sadly, to the great match from Zato-Van.
Yeah, that challenge was so crazy because Rush spending a lot of resources and patience to try and find that in the moment that he starts a little bit of stagger pressure. Zato-Van already has installed straight away and knows just when to press that 2P. And starting off here with round 2 with an early wall break, half health already gone, with punishing that 6HS, it's just looking like a complete disaster for Rush at the moment.
Oh yeah, no, this is a very good hand for Zato-Van. Even half of it being gone with the burst. Still very strong. The cubes bouncing up and down with that Test Case 2 staff. Zato-Van is a big fan of the Test Case 2, which you don't usually see from other Asukas, so fighting him is pretty different from others, so it could be pretty difficult to try and get experience against it, which is probably part of the reason Rush wasn't able to get anything started there. Maybe not as much experience with the Test Case 2 staves, and kind of confused by the cubes all over the screen just bouncing. So
if you want to get experience against Test Case 2 cubes as well as Zato-Van's style of playing Asuka, probably you could just ping him, honestly.
oh yeah, no, Zato-Van is a really nice guy. If you ping him, wow. This isn't telling everybody in the chat to ping Zato-Van for games, but if you ever need Asuka matchup practice, like if you send him on a ping, like maybe you see him in a server or something, like he'll be well glad to help you out with it. And still, it's gonna be very, very difficult for Rush to try and find an opening because Zato-Van's defense is almost impenetrable.
Yeah, especially with a character that has a situational DP, you do have to lock in on those system mechanic defense tools. So far, trying to keep a nice, comfortable distance away from Rush, but Rush finding the jump in hit is going to slowly but surely drive Zato-Van into the corner on that stagger pressure. But we're going to see the super come out, force him to block, and there we go, cube madness. But nice 5k check is going to cut that short. Going to get a nice little wall combo here into a simple wall break. No super for the hard knockdown, but still positive meter bonus is going to be nice here.
Yeah, if they can get anything started, but seems the staff comes out. I think, yeah, that's repulsion that they have out here. Oh, but not able to get the grab there. A little Q plus, maybe thinking that the cubes would move away quicker so that they could fake out with the cubes and then get a throw, but not working out in the end for Zato-Van, but able to kind of catch themselves here and get rushed down in that guard crush speed staff.
Absolutely, so slight hiccup, but we're recovering here, so we're doing okay. Rush trying to take to the skies, but unfortunately eat cubes for breakfast some more. Stuck into this corner. Zato-Van trying to set up some mix, but gets wire seed for his troubles. But nevertheless, Rush is not able to escape this corner, and just like that, eats a cube, and Zato-Van lets Rush challenge here, gets a whiff punish. Both players has burst available, but Zato-Van kind of just big chilling over here. Nice backdash, but no punish.
Yeah, and that's going to be a nice combo from Zato-Van, closing it out that round. Very, very nice. Evening it up one apiece. Going to duel 3 here.
Absolutely, still a burst available, but nice Night Raid Vortex is trying to bait the burst, but Zato-Van doesn't bite. Wild Assault to keep the pressure going, but just like that, get thrown into the corner, and now it's all Zato-Van again.
Yeah, and nice wall break with the super. We're going to get the hard knockdown, and that meter is going to be very, very crucial for Zato-Van here. Possibly going to want to go for that mulligan spell after setting up something with the cubes, as they are quite low on cards here. Yeah, there it is. And having another 50 in the back to set something up with. Rush is going to have to block him out a lot here.
Blocking he will have to do, as well as that super. It's already going to put him into pixel health, but the teleport is going to just mix him up, and Zato-Van is going to be in a comfortable 2-0 lead here so far. So Rush is going to have to find a similar Crillou style mix miracle to get that 3-game reverse sweep, or it's just going to be Zato-Van eliminating Rush from the bracket.
Yeah, and yeah, as you said there, lose aside the bracket, this is elimination point. So if Rush does lose this last game, they're going to be out of the bracket at a, well, pretty comfortable 7th place, which is not at all something to scoff at. 7th place in a Salty is something really, really something to be proud of. So, well done for Rush. And, like, Zato-Van is going to have to keep up this pressure if they want to see themselves further than that 7th place slot.
So far, the pressure is looking good. An early challenge from Rush is going to prompt that burst out of Zato-Van, but the burst bait from Zato-Van is going to be a strong response from his side. He's going to use the super cube to get that wall break and that positive meter bonus, and Rush looking here in a tough spot.
Yeah, no, having to block this out and having the meter in the back for the potential mulligan or plus frames with that super, setting up into the arpeggio for the side swap while blocking because of that Gear Xrd from the speed stab. Incredibly dangerous mix-up, and Rush not ready for it when it really mattered. But the Vortex is going to be ready for Rush, and that's going to put Zato-Van into the corner. Low mana on their side. A hit here could be very deadly, so pretty risky fuzzy jump out there, but it's going to work out in the end. But the 5D is very, very good from Rush here.
Yeah, big damage, stuck in the corner. Great jump out from Zato-Van. No mana just yet, so it's going to have to use good old fist style wizard stuff down to the last pixel here. Rush desperately needs this round here. Is sitting on elimination point here, but a nice challenge from Zato-Van is going to cut the pressure short. Has to find the way in. Nice, solid anti-air on the bandage bringer. And drive to the corner,
Yeah.
5k avoided.
Both players looking pretty desperate right now. Zato-Van low on that health, not able to restore that mana too quickly, and also low on said mana as well. And the DP is going to just reach and hit Zato-Van out of those cubes, stopping any further offense from the Wizard.
Absolutely, Rush here staying alive, but nevertheless, Zato-Van is on that set point. He's going to have to make this count here, or it's going to be the end of Rush. Nice 5k challenge is going to cut the pressure short, trying to drive into the corner, but throws him on the dash cancel. Sending out more cubes, slowly but surely pushing Rush into the corner here, skipping him out bit by bit. Super cube, will it be avoided? Just slightly, but still 2+. Has to hold the pressure in the corner.
Yeah, Rush desperately trying to jump A.B.A out to find any way out, but the diffusion cube is going to be what Zato-Van needs to take the game and set off Rush and knock them out of the bracket and move on to, I'm pretty sure, fight Patachu, I think.
Yes, they will be indeed
yes.
facing off against Patachu. So in losers quarter, so still, like you mentioned earlier, nothing to slouch at for Rush's performance, hitting that 7th place in this week's Salty bracket. So congratulations to him for making it so far. Unfortunately, it's going to be all we see from them for this evening, as we'll be moving on to, damn, the name again. Is it Cataclyv?
Cataclyv.
Cataclyv, thank you.
Yeah.
Versus Resil. If I see one more Asuka saying that character is bad, I will show up on the news in a really bad manner. Okay, Rush taking the Asuka character quite well, as we can see.
Yeah, well, it appears Zato-Van is just sitting on the podium, but not going to matter too much, as we are still going to have to wait a little bit for our next players to show up. So, if I am wrong, we have Cataclyv versus Resil, I think?
You're not wrong.
Yes, okay.
We need to have
And this is
Cataclyv.
going to be Baiken Bedman.
Yes.
Interesting matchup. Not something that you see very often. It's something that you really don't see often at all, really.
Yeah, I don't think I've personally seen this come by on Salty, so it's hard for me to say exactly how this will play out. I'd imagine it that for the most part, like if Cataclyv can find that solid parry between the pressure, especially the very, like, a lot of air resets that Bedman has with the slight float cancels that the character affords himself. There may be an opportunity to reverse Resil back into the corner, but the problem is also that, well, Resil is just one of those Bedmans that definitely likes to press 2P, so you have to also be tight on your pressure the moment you score that parry, and keep him locked down. And I think also to a degree, Bedman doesn't really need to deal with Tatami all too much, because at a moment's notice, especially when they have a life lead, they can just opt to retreat and use their projectile zoning to take care of the rest of the round. But now I'll leave it over to you. What else you speculate to come out of this matchup?
Well, yeah, one of the big things I think is going to come out of this matchup is Baiken's slower than average dash speed is definitely going to make it difficult for them to try and approach Bedman, not only just with the needle zoning, but even just hovering in the air, trying to, like, scout for some kind of JS or JH hit that they could use to start their error pressure. And I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to see a lot of in this matchup, as the JS should beat the IAD JS from Baiken, which is going to be a pretty good option to try and represent in this game here, because you do want to close that space as Baiken and Resil, I'm pretty sure, will be pretty comfortable in, yeah, spending that burst, just wanting to get that space very early on. Gonna be very comfortable with that space.
Usually see all those buttons coming out, trying to get those needles, but Cataclyv finally in, using the Yozasan's overheads to Tommy keep the pressure running, but Resil finding a slight escape, but not enough. Still, Cataclyv keeping them trapped in the corner. Is going to be using that super to get that wall break and the hard knockdown. Resil in a really tight spot here.
Yeah, and ooh, possibly a miss input there from Cataclyv coming out with a 6K. Not able to get their pressure starting, but blocking all these overheads. Slight miss input, I think, there with the Kabari. Possibly meant to be a super coming out. But in the end, not getting that, and gonna be opened up.
Okay, reversal super here, but Resil just takes it. Oh no, gets caught with the backdash. That maybe an IB misinput or something, but nevertheless, Cataclyv kind of just getting lucky on that one, I suppose. And luck is sometimes what you need in these competitions, especially using that burst rather late in the round to try and secure the closing. But here we go, Resil now starting off the pressure pretty good here, getting a nice grip of damage, about half health gone here from Cataclyv, and there we see the errors coming out.
Yeah, and Resil still trying to scout out for that parry, not wanting their pressure to go away in an instant, so trying everything they can to bait it out because a big combo would be in store afterwards. And yeah, no, there's no parry that can save you from this pressure. Just slowly chipping you down, but the parry on the Fire Slash is going to be excellent. Cataclyv still back in this, and another parry coming out just at the end, looking like Dark Souls.
Yeah, not getting that parry follow-up, unfortunately, but still, Cataclyv is able to make the most of it. He's going to be cashing out for the super. Not going to be a kill, but the hard knockdown is definitely a great start, but has to be super careful. That pixel health could mean any little 2P match that, even if it trades, is going to end up favorably for Resil. See another super come out, but misses the mark this time, and Resil is going to be tying up the rounds here in game 1.
Yeah, Resil may possibly not intentionally baiting that super, them pausing a little bit there, trying to recognize the situation, but Cataclyv is now going to be in that corner. Guard crushed once again, and the plus frame's good enough so that a parry is not possible in this window. But a 6P is going to be definitely possible on that JS. Resil going to get pushed back to the other side of the corner. But the Beyblade is going to reverse their positions once more.
Yeah, there we go. Resil trying to drive them back, but YRC going to deny that. Sets up the Kabari. He's going to be landing a little bit more extended damage here in the mid-screen, plus some of that mix-ups. Finds that 2H, unfortunately jumping into the burst shield. It's going to push him back slightly, but still Resil in the corner, but finds that JS counter hit to be a nice grip of damage. Cataclyv has that burst available, but needs to start finding an opportunity to use it sooner than later. But never mind, it's not even going to need it. That JS counter hit is going to do it, and Cataclyv takes game 1.
Yeah, and as you were talking about the burst there, Cataclyv actually winning the game for not spending their burst, as Resil tried their best to try and bait it out at the last instant, but Cataclyv staying strong and not pressing that button, recognizing that Resil would want to do that in the first place and getting away with it and getting rewarded with the first game of the set.
It's sort of the most like illogical decision to do, but it rewards you quite heavily, especially if you were ready with that call out to not burst on, you know, arguably what could have been the killing blow there.
Oh yeah, and like, as we see, them getting rewarded for that could encourage more habits like that during this set, which would be very good if Resil isn't able to adapt anytime soon. But right now, Cataclyv seems like they've got the handle on things.
Yeah, slight life deficit, eating another bed full. It's going to be rough. Using the burst here to try and stay alive in this round. At the very least, looking to claim Resil's own burst back. Trying to reversal super, not hitting the marks. Going to have to spend all their meter to stay safe from that. Tatami pressure, holding Resil still, but an excellent A.B.A is going to cut that short, giving him advantage to try and push here and find that kill.
And very, very nice combo with the error needle into the regular one.
Absolutely, but Cataclyv starting to pressure off here, trying to backdash, but caught into the corner. Resil does burst to push Cataclyv a little bit out, trying to use that needles to cover the approach, and finally does connect a little bit. Backdashes away, doesn't find the Beyblade hit quite easily, but still in a good control of the situation. Finds that overhead, is going to be cashing out for some great beat damage, but nevertheless damage on the board. Getting that install plus that wall break. Didn't hit with a one of the error specials, so doesn't get that hard knockdown, but still transferring that install over. It's going to make quite the confident win over Cataclyv.
Yeah, and Resil, as we know, is a big fan of that install, powering up all their errors, and loves to run their pressure with those powered up errors, and just completely dominate, because I'm pretty sure all of them guard crush.
Yeah, they all guard crush.
Yeah, I know the bomb head is very good for that, racking up constant chip. The guard crush error needle is very good for its 360 tracking, which Resil likes to take advantage of every now and again. Just go into the sky, cross you up, and hit you with that cross up error, which you can't do without that install. So definitely trying to catch people off guard with that. Now, I'm pretty sure we should be seeing something like that later in the set.
It should also be noted that the install isn't any punishment on the side of getting that hard knockdown, because if you do find that error hit against the wall break, it will just count as a regular super hit, and you do get that hard knockdown.
Yeah, but ooh, very nice, super good hit from Cataclyv there. Going to convert, but not able to finish the combo out with something that leaves you with Oki. So Resil is going to get away, and Cataclyv is going to have to chase them back down, but not much room for Resil to run to in that corner, and a nice parry is going to come out from Cataclyv. Definitely keeping their skills sharp when it's needed.
Absolutely wild assault here to try and find the last hit. Stuck in the corner. Resil's going to YRC, make any comeback happen at all. Is going to find some quick hits here, and just like that, error pressure straight into the corner. Not enough to get that wall break combo, but still Cataclyv stuck in the corner here, getting close to that burst. Last thing you want to do is burst on what should arguably have been a one round, but finds the parry, and this time the follow-up on top of it is going to be dealing damage, in Cataclyv now in the slight advantage here, 1 round over Resil.
Yeah, it seems we've just been going completely back and forth, but the parries completely swing the momentum over and over again to Cataclyv's side, just keeping everything on their side, and the overhead is going to come out. Burst from Resil is coming out as well with that install, so Resil is going to try and enforce something.
Yeah, at the very least, chip damage to try and get as much of that health equalized as possible. Install is going to be expiring, but does get a nice mix-up. Cataclyv has the burst available, so we'll see if they're going to let it rip this round. They're going to save it for potentially the final round. Does throw the super out, and it gets blocked here by Cataclyv, and Cataclyv is able to take it. One more game away from this is lose side, so yeah, eliminating Resil.
Yeah, and it's looking pretty good from Cataclyv right now, knowing exactly when and when not to challenge with that parry, always keeping Resil on their toes, knowing that they can come out at any moment, but just enough so that they're not baiting it when they need to. So very good from them right now. And if they keep this up, they should be able to close out the set and move on this side of the bracket.
So we'll see if Resil has any responses, because that game 2 that they did manage to win over Cataclyv was a very dominant one. And so far, we're starting to see a semblance of that starting off here. It's going to be a burst from Cataclyv to try and control back a little bit. No punish on the overhead, but still Cataclyv has to... Oh, okay, I didn't block that.
Oh yeah, neither did I. I got hit by that, and so did Resil, but not getting hit by big pressure. Resil is mashing 2P there, and is going to get that throw. Cataclyv definitely in trouble now, trying to 6P, but you can't 6P that projectile. Resil is going to try and keep up with that error zoning for the rest of the game. Decides to go in for that JS into the Fire Slash, and that is going to be a round up for Resil.
Yeah, 1 away from bringing this down to a final game situation, but that doesn't count out Cataclyv. They do have the means to try and secure this set, but so far looking a little rough here as they're driven into the corner by Resil. Those buzzsaw overheads, gotta count them all. It's like 5 hits or something, and well, Cataclyv caught, not counting. Enough to kill, not quite.
7 exactly on that JH, but it is a variable amount depending on the height it starts at. So, oh, very nice parry from Cataclyv. immediately goes up for that throw, conditioning Resil very, very well. Cross up gets that fire slash, and he's gonna shoot the gun, but the needle is gonna hit them before anything even goes near Resil, and that's gonna be our game 5 secured.
Yeah, unfortunately, Cataclyv blinking on the high noon standoff. Never mind the fact that Resil took to the sky. As probably if it was just straight gunshot to gunshot on the ground, that would have come out on top for Cataclyv. But, you know, Resil finding the opportunity to quickly float up and shoot the needle, secured him the final game opportunity. So we'll have to see who comes out on top here. Both players rather explosive in how they've been winning these games, especially Resil, as on the right conditions made it like a really quick run, and under other situations made it rather close for Cataclyv. So we'll probably see more of that Resil dominance come out.
Yeah, and still Cataclyv being on point with these parries, not allowing Resil to overextend at any moment. Oh, but tries to hit that 2K and it's going to be slightly out of range. Cataclyv definitely not wanting that. Has a bomb error stock, but decides to override it with the needle and go into the install to close out that round, putting them on set point right now.
Surprised to not see Resil try to cash out that wall splat with a super, but I guess maybe it was trying to open up an opportunity for Cataclyv to try and burst in the last round. This time, finding the burst from Cataclyv nice and early. Almost has about half of their health gone here, trapped in the corner of the white Wild Assault to keep the pressure going. Guard crush after guard crush. Can Cataclyv find an opening? Does find a slight one, but not enough, and Resil immediately challenges it to put them back into the corner, and just hitting hit after hit isn't able to find an opportunity to get something started. Super will not be enough to kill, but we've been at the situation before. Cataclyv on the pixel health, and just like that, Resil going back into the zoning with the super install.
Yeah, and Cataclyv needs to get in. Even any single hit from this install could be devastating with low meter and no health. That chip is always on the horizon. Resil definitely going to want to make that space to try and activate that install and get that chip kill to close out the set. But Cataclyv not letting that happen at all, just bulldozing, rushing Resil down, not giving them a chance to breathe because they know if they do, the set could be over. And is the super going to hit? It will! OTG, just barely not enough to kill, but the 2K is going to seal the set for Resil.
My goodness, Cataclyv almost bringing it down to a double Luigi situation, but like you said, blue RC into 2K was the finishing kill that they needed. That looked kind of crazy because I swear you could have gambled a little harder to try and get that potential last trade in to close out the round, and it was looking kind of iffy there. But ultimately coming out on top, because I don't know what kind of mental damage that would have done if you lost that round, but it's also going to be the mark of a competitor to not take mental damage there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But Cataclyv is sadly going to leave us on 7th place there. So still very, very commendable to end off in 7th place on SaltyEU. But Resil is going to be moving on to fight heyheylo later in that bracket, whilst we are going to be moving back up, I'm pretty sure, for Patachu Zato-Van, which is going to be Seed 1 versus Seed 2 happening in losers
Semis.
top 8 losers.
No
semi?
quarters. No quarters, yeah.
Quarters, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like if we ignore the winners finals side of business, right? Once again, great seeding here by Mr. Ice. Yes, let's ignore that seed 8 and seed 3 are facing off against each other in winners, and 1 and 2 is down here in losers quarters.
Hey, upsets happen, and
upsets
it makes the tournament more hype, which is something that everybody wants to see in a tournament.
Absolutely. You like, from time to time, you enjoy a bit of consistency, but not all too much, especially when they play a really underrated character. I like seeing my Chip bros pull through. Don't think I've seen anyone to play Chip from my brief glances towards the stream. But nevertheless, if you're out there, know that I see you. And speaking of seeing you, we're down to the last 3 codes. So since we've been advertising it, thank you, Andre863 and Sam Jackson. Well, we got Samuel Jackson himself in salty Twitch chat, I guess, claiming 2 more codes. We're down to our final 3 So we're heading into the twilight of this bracket. So don't get caught lacking here, as we don't want to be claiming codes after the fact. We'd like to have it done as soon as possible. So you know the drill. ! Matcherino will get you over to that website. Hit that claim code button. If you're not already logged in on Matcherino, do so with your Twitch account or one of the many other accounts you are comfortable with using when prompted. And hit, just like that, you'll contribute 25 cents to the prize pool. It is free money.
Yeah, and who doesn't like a bit of free money? But after all this talk about free money, we're going into our losers quarters here with Patachu versus Zato-Van. So I know a lot of people have been saying Sin beats Asuka, but I've been seeing a lot of varied opinions about that. So not gonna comment too much on the matchup. We're just gonna say that Sin wants to get in, Asuka wants to keep them out. They both have good mix when they get in.
On the note of Sin having a decent time into the Asuka, just like earlier we saw the 6P from Sin, a pretty active button, and then, you know, clashing with the cube will afford Patachu the opportunity to cancel. So immediately finding that counter hit with the beak driver, and just like that, not giving up a lick of pressure against Zato-Van is going to get that shield break and straight to the Tyrant Barrel kill.
Yeah, and more the characters from the Wild will start coming out as they swap to test case 2, trying to look for a specific card maybe before swapping to that test case 3 in the end. But no, we're just sticking to the test case 2 here, not wanting to try and find anything big in the test case 3, just sticking to it.
So far, working out pretty nicely here. As Patachu is stuck in the corner, has burst available, down to 1 or 2 more hits here, as well as his guard crush ever slowly bring him closer to that final hit that Zato-Van needs. Tries to run up here, but immediately the check from Zato-Van is going to cut that short. So we're going to go into the final round of game 1. Patachu does have the burst available, where Zato-Van is slightly over halfway there.
Yeah, and Zato-Van once again creating the space with these cubes, discarding most of what they have in their hand, but in the process discarding most of their mana, which is going to put them in a very precarious spot here in the corner, because any hit like this will deal a boatload of damage as we're going through the wall with almost 90% of Asuka's health gone.
Man, I think if Patachu had the meter there for that Tyrant Barrel, that could have just been a straight kill there. Just like that, Patachu finding that last hit, just before, doing so much damage, Zato-Van couldn't even burst to see if there was a follow-up or not. Had to, in this fact, use it preemptively, but caught off guard there a little bit, and Patachu going to be claiming that game 1.
Yeah, and as in regards to the matchup, this is what most people say it should go to. But these two players, I know. Well,
can we get a Strive Earth, Mr. Ice?
Yeah, I was going to say these two players have been known to go back and forth a lot, so anything could happen in the set. And as I say that, well, yeah, anything can happen, including Zato-Van just getting completely disconnected from the room. That is a possibility.
It is a possibility. We've seen Zato-Van have occasional connection issues, so hopefully nothing too debilitating this evening, as it seems we can hop right back into the next game after that minor hiccup.
Yeah, and can
oh no.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh no. It does seem to be that Zato-Van is being booted from the lobby quite consistently. So we'll see what the discussion is going to be to try and recover from this situation. Currently, the option of restarting the room is open. So I guess we will be going for that.
Yeah. Which means I'm going to have to put in the code again.
Minor connection error, set restarted. Yo, real.
Okay, there we go. just waiting for the 2 star players to show up.
So there we got
Patachu is in the
Patachu.
And waiting on Zato-Van, if they can find their way into the room without connection issues.
This is also always a thing with online brackets you have to keep in mind, especially when it happens mid-set. Usually you have some level of momentum that goes on, especially Patachu coming hot off a win. And while not intentional, it is a possible factor that connection issues do take some time to resolve, and in some situations may possibly ice out the player from the momentum they were able to build up earlier.
Yeah, but hopefully all of that momentum is not halted, as Zato-Van going to try once more to get that connection with Patachu.
So far, no Strive Earth, no connection lost. Let's not jinx it.
Yeah,
As the eagle
everything
flies away.
looks normal. Checking the opponent. Oh,
No.
yeah, I think Zato-Van's game might be bugged. Might need to restart.
Oh, baby. Might need to restart the router. Oh, boy. Some of that good old ArcSys network routing.
Has already been done? Okay. Maybe Zato-Van can't join the room. So,
Yeah, so
possibly they'll try host.
that's also another option, is that the player with the faulty connection, despite all logical attempts to clear it up, attempts to host the room.
We're gonna have to move the room anyways. Oh, this connection to work in the end. Assuming it is the same code as the last 2.
Here I thought we were going to make it a nice and quick salty this evening, but
Yeah,
can't possibly dodge the connection issues. Surely not. Don't mind the mess.
Oh my god. I see why he's saying that.
I'm sitting here waiting on Ice to connect to that lobby so I can take a peek myself. All right.
You will be surprised.
I'm seeing claims that it's a very bright room.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems Resil's joined the room before Ice. Yeah, here you go.
Oh my god. It's
Right.
a collection of cows. This is beautiful. This is art, honestly.
One last chance. Hopefully, we get the connection this time. And we can continue on with the set as usual, because it did work for the first game. Uh-oh. Okay.
Oh, okay. Just overall.
Yeah.
No connection
okay.
happening today towards Zato-Van, it would seem.
Well,
Oh boy, I love delays. All right, so I guess Zato-Van is gonna try and restart their PC. don't think we have any entertainment in the meantime, so I'm going to take a glance over at the match arenas. We're down to our last 2 codes, so thank you Sudi V1 for claiming code number 3. Be the last 2 to claim the code. Hop in.
Oh, what am I doing? I'm
Have
over
you
here
not
claiming
claimed
the
the
codes.
code?
I have not even claimed the code. I just realized. Well, I'm gonna fill out that second last code, which means it's gonna be much easier for one person to click on a single code and close out our match arena. So as I am gonna put in my
I think you're the last
I'm
code.
gonna paint the match arena.
I think you're the
Put it
last
in the
code if you
chat.
haven't claimed it already.
Am I?
Yeah, unless your match arena account is Nair.
Oh no, I will be the last code, it seems.
And there we go.
There we go. That's all 50 of the codes gone.
Yeah, and a nice before the grand finals even, or before the semifinals even. So while we wait for Zato-Van to restart their PC, we are going to be moving on with the other loser side game of heyheylo versus Resil.
Ooh, now this is an interesting match. We're gonna have Bedman versus Zato, which is another match that you don't see often. Well, especially because you don't see Zato often, like even at all.
Yeah, a lot of people, we'll be honest, a lot of people downplaying this character. It's not quite the, the crazy puppet character like Happy Chaos, but you can maintain that never-ending pressure, especially when you can get that Sun Void super to refresh the bar of the Eddy meter.
Oh yeah. It's just we're gonna have to see in this set if Zato-Van gets the chance to set up that super. As, yeah, we do see a wall break, and now into the corner with Resil, but finds their way out with that clean 6P on the JS, and is going to catch heyheylo's anti-air with that JD.
Yeah, it's wild assault straight in, both players low on that burst resource. Fires going to come out from heyheylo, trying to put Resil in towards the corner, waiting for the Eddy to come back, and as soon as he comes back, it's sniped out by the needle. You hate to see it. So Resil in a pretty good spot here, has that 50 meter, and we're going to see that install super. Those error specials going to be doing massive amounts of guard crush as well as damage if they do connect. Oh,
yeah, and Resil, yeah, just trying to keep him out at any cost, really.
Nice 6P, sets out the Eddy behind him, dragging him towards the corner and finds the hit. Start up a nice little combo here, driving him slowly but surely in towards the corner. Eddy meter going to be running out, but we see the command grab come out. It's not going to refund a lot of Eddy meter, but still we're getting there. But finally Sun Void comes out. Eddy is back on the screen to keep the pressure up for heyheylo.
Yeah, and that pressure should be over with Resil's round going as well. So heyheylo definitely wants to close out this last round to get the first game of the set on the board, but looks like it's going mostly Resil's favor right now. heyheylo going through that wall with most of their health missing at the moment.
Yeah, so we'll see what kind of comeback they can make. Finds that close slash anti-air, and Resil instantly bursting it. Doesn't want to give heyheylo any opportunity to make that comeback. Well, especially wanting to challenge on pressure, find the bed stomp, swapping to the other side. heyheylo using the burst kind of late here, so down to possibly, yeah, no more burst gonna be coming out from heyheylo here. Just get shot for his troubles.
Yeah, no, like break the law is gonna lower your hurt box quite a bit, but the tracking on the heat-seeking pin there is going to go into the ground and kill Zato nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely rough. So not invincible, only just some hurt box shifting shenanigans. So we're going to see what heyheylo has in stock to be able to recover there, because they do have the means to secure the rounds, but the question is can they secure 2 in a row?
Just what we're seeing in this set right now. As Resil starts off with a 6P neutral jump from heyheylo, Catches with that 2S and is gonna get the Eddie pressure out. Mash out from Resil is very nice, but heyheylo fighting back with the exact same option as a mash out.
Nice 5P into the RC is going to be extending themselves a little bit of damage here. Desummons the Eddie and brings him back out. It's down to no more Eddie meter, but does find a combo, does find that wall splat. No super to be able to get that knockdown, but is, yeah, there we go, just one tick away. Oh, drops the combo off the RC, so this is not going to be too great of a situation. Still has some of that positive meter bonus to tick over to another 50% tension. Resil find the low, putting heyheylo into the corner. Finds that JS, is going to get himself a wall splat. No super for the knockdown, but almost a complete life swing. Getting that install super. We'll see what they have. Oh, nope. 2S.
And that did say punish from heyheylo's side, so Resil not having any options after committing to that install on the wall break. While heyheylo goes straight for that 2S, but now gets a good knockdown. Eddie should be out in the corner. Resil gets hit. And we do go into a wall break. Most of the Eddie gauge back, but no hard knockdown from heyheylo's side.
Yeah, and just like that, Resil's able to find some hits to get it started. heyheylo attempting to anti-air with the 6P, but nevertheless, Resil super tricky on their approach. Finds that late bed fall overhead and has a slight life advantage here. Going to be going into the install and try to keep heyheylo locked in the corner. Oh my god, what? How much did... Wait. From where did that bomb hand kill? He had like 15% health.
No, he did not. He had like 40 at most, probably 30%.
More health? There you go, Resil keeping the pressure up, just getting those error codes out. But heyheylo finding the opening, pushing all the way towards the corner. He's going to get that wall break. But that Eddie meter is running really low here, so we're going to have to see how this next 50 tension is going to be used to advance heyheylo's game state. Goes for YRC, but it gets baited out by Resil. It'll be a nice grip of damage here. And this should kill here. Just the needle shot will do it. And Resil on that comfortable 2-0 lead so far.
And definitely taking a good lead over heyheylo here. And probably, by the looks of things, going to be able to keep it if heyheylo does not adapt quick enough. One game, well, if you don't win this one game left to make those adaptations, and those are definitely going to be needed to take the set, because if you lose this, you're out the bracket.
So has to be careful here.
Oh, and the White Water Soul is going to start off that round from Resil. Going to keep up that pressure. Has an error stocked. Is going to be able to loop them with the Wild Assault. But the 5P coming out from Zato-1 Prime. Going to be able to get that side swap as well. Really nice combo, putting Resil in the corner. heyheylo going to be in the corner now, though. Going to get out.
And Resil going to go for the install here, trying to get some more of that guard crush damage and equalize, if not get that life swing on heyheylo. So far, mission accomplished, and heyheylo stuck in the corner. YRC does connect, sends out the Eddie going up from behind. He's going to be getting a nice little combo here. Still, Eddie meter is available. Push all the way to the corner. No wall splat with that invite hell, but blocks the YRC. heyheylo staying alive for now.
This is looking pretty nice of your heyheylo, finally managing to make these adaptations that were needed in the first place. Trying to use a pose to get past this needle zoning, but he is not able to find his way through. But the Wild Assault is going to find its way through into heyheylo's defense. Going to have to try and block all of this mix from Resil, going straight for the low into the super, and now heyheylo is very low on health, going to have to block a lot out.
Yeah, and especially you might as well just consider to die here quick. I guess you didn't have the option, and especially smart to hold that burst despite Resil's baiting attempt to go into potentially this final round here for your time on this week's Salty with a burst available. heyheylo starting it off with a slight lead here. No Eddie meter what to speak of, and Resil finding the JS hit. He's going to get the burst out from heyheylo. Another JS hit, and the Eddie is also gone on top of it. This is looking kind of disastrous here for heyheylo. Close to that 25% health mark there. Eddie not coming back. Coming back quite shortly, but still it looks like forever the way this pressure is going, the way you're stuck in the corner. Eddie is back, but then we're going to see the install super coming out from Resil, trying to keep heyheylo trapped in the corner. You don't want to summon Eddie here at all. It finds a low hit, one more hit should secure it. Still, heyheylo finding an opening.
Yeah, but at the finish line, heyheylo is able to find their ground. Gonna push Resil into the corner and try and bait that super. Wants to be extra sure it gets baited, so spends the RC, but still no Eddie left. So after all that work, not able to plan a block string that could keep Resil from getting out, and Resil manages to find the opening with the needle, and that is going to be Resil taking the set over heyheylo 3-0.
Absolutely. So unfortunately for the Zato bros, that is going to be a 5th place finish for heyheylo in this week's Salty. Again, nothing to scoff at. It was still a great match nonetheless, but unfortunately for heyheylo, Resil just had the beat.
Yeah, and speaking of, well, yeah, no, that's done now. So we're gonna be moving back the other side, and we're gonna try and run Patachu versus Zato-Van once more. If Resil gets off the station, thank you.
But
yeah, Resil must be very, very happy with that 3-0 victory. Probably going to spend some time thinking over, or maybe even eating dinner, probably at around this time. I know a lot of people do like to do that during their tournament runs, is they wait until they get a big break and then they go and eat their dinner. But with all that done now, we have once again Patachu versus Zato-Van, and we're gonna try and get this one to work. If it's not working now, we're just gonna have to leave it and move on. No, we're in.
Yeah, there we go. PC restart is the trick here. As a reminder, as you can see on the scoreboard, Patachu did win the first game before the connection issues occurred, so they do have that one game up on Zato-Van, but we'll see if that period of re-establishing connection is going to have affected any of the players' performance with the momentum they might have built up.
It seems very good for Zato-Van. Oh my god, that did a lot of damage. Wow.
And it's still doing more damage, trying to beak driver through, but recovery of that lasting a little too long is going to give Zato-Van plenty of opportunity. Crazy mix, and even crazier still from Patachu to block that. But that 6-speed challenge straight through with the beak driver is going to prompt Zato-Van to burst, but still was able to find the closing hit necessary to take the first round of game 2.
Yeah, and this is looking much better for Zato-Van than it was earlier. Going to try and keep up that pressure, and the overhead, straight overhead and neutral, interesting enough. It's going to find its mark, but Zato-Van low on spells right now, does have the DP, but does not want to use that on offense for obvious reasons.
Oh, great anti-air on the air dash attempt from Patachu. Tries to challenge the cubes, but not quite working out favorably. And Zato-Van making quick work of Patachu here in game 2 and is able to tie up the scoreboard just like that.
Yeah,
wonder what kind of PC hacks he got started up. No, I'm kidding.
Who knows? But after all that time, it seems Zato-Van was thinking over what he could do to try and take that round back on Patachu. And right now we're going to be playing a 1-2 basically to try and close out the set.
Absolutely.
Because of the first set taken, and now Zato-Van finally catching up.
We'll see if Patachu is able to get that timing down again to challenge those cubes. And speaking of timing, it's a nice whiff punish on the 6P, prompting Zato-Van to burst, try and wrestle back some control here. Trying to be a little bit tricky, a little bit of footsies coming out, finds a low, and just like that, Patachu is floated all the way into the corner, avoiding the beak driver and finds that overhead hit. And Patachu locked down, holding cubes.
Yeah, and is going to get that super wall break with the diffusion. Pretty nice hand that they have right now. Gonna replace it with another 3-hit cube, and we are going to get the wall break, and that is going to be very, very good for Zato-Van. Completely dominating now after that first loss before we had our connection tests.
Absolutely, but here we see Patachu starting it off a little stronger. Unfortunately, gets pushed away slightly, but nevertheless, still able to maintain a corner pressure. A throw goes wrong, and Zato-Van is out just like that. Even catches a big hit on the cross-up. Patachu trapped in the corner here, summoning all kinds of cubes and staff, especially the super cube for the plus frames.
Yeah, now we do have the speed staff, so that is going to be a boatload of guard crush. If you can keep up cycling this deck, which you have a very good hand right now, you are going to have yourself a really good advantage going into the wall break. And yeah, now Zato-Van is going to be up 2-1 over Patachu. This is a speed run.
Did he just like 6P the beak driver through pressure? Like, what?
Yes.
Hey, immaculate stuff coming out here from Zato-Van. I think definitely the reset of the PC has improved his reactions and timing to certain responses from Patachu that has been paying off real nicely. We saw in the round before, the last one, that closing it out with an excellent shimmy, baiting the throw, and now 6Ping through the beak driver. Man is looking quite unstoppable here.
Yeah, no, it seems every single move that Patachu has come out with is able to be countered by Zato-Van, so spend that time with the connection, studying him like the book that Asuka is reading at the moment to try and throw out these spells, but to throw them out, you do need mana, which is something that Zato-Van is lacking at the moment.
Well, I mean, the Asuka character can fix that quite quickly by sacrificing some of their health to charge up that mana. So we're going to be seeing that Zato-Van is going to be playing on the edge here, charging up cards, charging what little mana they can find here. Doesn't quite find the hit necessary to close out the round. It's going to be opting for the big plus frames, and RTL is going to go through the super. The question is, it will indeed, and it's going to get that wall break plus the hard knockdown. Also the mana break here, so no defensive properties, finds a hit here, and just like that is going to make a comfortable comeback here, claiming the first round of game 4.
Yeah, no, this is very, very good for Patachu, finding their footing in the set after that connection test, and we are going to have Zato-Van setting up some pretty good Oki, going up for that throw. Hasn't represented that yet in this set, and another overhead coming out. More cubes and guard crush coming out from Zato-Van, slowly getting that chip down, and we're gonna mulligan in case 1, surprisingly, to find that speed staff. And now, yeah, not going to be able to mash out of that, even if you wanted to, with the more guard crush from the speed staff, and that's going to end up with a chip out.
And Zato-Van now on set point over Patachu, threatening to eliminate them from this week's bracket, starting off with some great footsies here, and getting a punish on that 6P and driving Patachu all the way into the corner, just chucking cubes, finds that overhead, but the cube doesn't quite travel fast enough to be able to connect for the combo, but nevertheless still a great situation, finds another overhead. Patachu does have that burst available, but the situation is looking rather dire here. Super for the plus frame, staying right in his face again. Another overhead, doesn't have the means to burst, but still not enough damage from Zato-Van. But 2S is going to catch the approach from Patachu, and that's going to be a 3-1 close.
Yeah, so that is a quick 3-0 after the connection test for Zato-Van. So I don't know what you did say. What kind of computer hacks did he use to get that working? And I don't know. That did look a bit suspicious from Zato-Van. But is going to be moving on 3-0 in the loser side of the bracket to be fighting Resil later on when we drop back down after our winners finals game with Wrathgazer versus Crillou. So if Crillou sticks to the Axel in this matchup, we're gonna have a pot Axel, but they could swap to the Bridget or the A.B.A even if they want to. So
I think the only character I would kind of want to swap into the Potemkin is possibly the Bridget, simply for the fact that she has that DP available to try and break through some of these more trickier situation, especially when Wrathgazer is trying to condition you to just hold down back and set himself up for that pot buster. So just being able to clear through that situation and beat both the button press and the pot buster with the DP is definitely going to you're going to be a much more favorable situation than having to, you know, hard guess on a character like A.B.A or Axel who lack those options.
But even then, with Potemkin, you know, a grappler has that high damage that you have to watch out for. If DP getting baited could be the end of the round if you don't have a burst. So we are going to see Crillou sticking with the A.B.A, definitely getting more serious here, not picking that that Axel and more their main being their A.B.A. So just gonna wait for Wrathgazer to get into the room at this point, and we will begin our winners final set.
Yeah, so I'm interested about that A.B.A pick because I do think you can, to an extent, overwhelm the Potemkin with some of these, you know, Jealousy Rage mix-ups you have available, those double overheads or those instant overheads. And additionally, what does happen for you that's quite favorable on the A.B.A is that when you're out of that Jealousy Rage, well, you have the benefit of the Potemkin still having to approach you, right? Play you in that close-up range where you can find opportunities to regenerate that Jealousy Rage. So it's all just kind of in favor of, well, you know, it's generally just a more favorable way for you to play the A.B.A character. Some of these matchups can be rather punishing for A.B.A when they can keep you out. So
and even finding a few like blocked 5Hs could be good for, well, one, just being able to RPS with your other options and keep Wrathgazer on his toes on what you're gonna do, but even like empty canceling into nothing just to get that Jealous Rage gauge up. But if you do find that hit, you can get that Wild Assault, which is what Crillou went for, to stack up that Jealous Rage gauge, and is going to stay in Wrathgazer's face, regenning it, and is going to beat that back Mega Fist with the 2S, and this is looking very, very good for Crillou right now.
Yeah, no hard knockdown, but still that full Jealousy Rage as well as that positive meter bonus ticking. Situation looking mighty fine for Crillou. Finds that close slash hit against Wrathgazer in the corner, and just going to be using the super to cash out and get that first round win.
Yeah, and a perfect to boot. 7 golden letters is looking very, very good for Crillou, but not going to have another one here. Wrathgazer is going to start off with the White Water, so a little bit of damage on Krillou's side here, but is going to get that knockdown into the Jealous Rage. We're going to find that hit early on and end the combo early on as well. Never mind, actually, extending it, fully filling up that Jealous Rage, and now setting yourself up to steamroll.
Yeah, unfortunately not finding that last hit necessary to get that wall break, and the JD air stall from Wrathgazer is also going to punish the anti-air attempt. Just like that, getting a nice health swing here. That Jealousy Rage ticking down, absolutely zero here. So this, whoa, and just like that, snatch straight out of the air. Going to get that wall break out on top of it. So Wrathgazer is looking rather fine here in this situation. Shouldn't let Crillou swing too much uncontested to generate that Jealousy Rage back, but does need to close out the round sooner than later. Finds the air throw. Garuda with the reversal super is going to connect.
Yeah, and is going to get the throw, sadly. Oh no, able to get that JD, and we're gonna get the downside guard crush. Heat tackle's gonna go through, and we're gonna get the JD beating the close slash, the complete disjoint on that new move after the patch.
You definitely like to see that on Wrathgazer's side, where the round looked really strong, and you know Crillou was making that comeback. He just didn't want to use that burst, especially going into the final round situation. So now hanging on to that burst, both players going into it with burst available, is going to be cashing out 50% of that for that Wild Wall Assault, but it's going to be blocked and punished by Crillou. Still Wrathgazer trying to stay in their phase. That's going to be a deinstall, so not major damage, but still able to build up that Jealousy Rage. RC for the extension, finding themselves a lot of Jealousy Rage and keeping Wrathgazer trapped in the corner.
Yeah, we get the throw, and the overhead is not blocked by Wrathgazer, and you're going to be going through that wall. And then it's going to be game one going to Crillou, I think.
Yeah, it is indeed. So definitely a lot of overwhelming pressure coming out here from Crillou. So we're going to have to see if Wrathgazer can find anything going, because so far I don't think Wrathgazer has set up any situation to be quite favorable for themselves. Has had to be scrambling a lot in neutral and being able to get these counter hit conversions to set up some kind of damage. And, you know, much rather you'd like to be throwing out those close slashes, those delay RCs into Pop Buster and whatnot, or big counter hits, fishing for those massive damage dealers instead of having to scramble for, you know, scraps.
Yeah, and speaking of trying to get scraps, these slide heads coming out. Just no damage, but able to get that knockdown to start Potemkin's dangerous strike throw game. Oh, but a nice counter hit on that flick. Not able to confirm into anything big. Gonna move back slightly. Ooh, and gets counter hit by that 5H.
And you saw how important it was for Wrathgazer to keep that pressure in the corner. The moment that Crillou found an opportunity to challenge the slide head, he immediately PRCs it backwards. The moment he gets hit once, he immediately uses the burst just to keep them trapped in that corner as long as possible to keep that strike throw going. And with the HPB is going to be claiming that first round of game 2.
Yeah, and the Jealous Rage is just going to be like raw activated in neutral, and we're going to go straight into the corner, but a whiff and not a good enough reaction from Wrathgazer to get the punish.
Ooh, confirming off of the trade is going to be building up a little bit of damage here. RC for the extension. Wants to splat him against the wall. Going to see that jump key install with a good grip of Jealousy Rage meter available. Not quite that hard knockdown, but the heat tackle just blowing right through. Stuck in the corner. Do we see Wrathgazer keep the pressure going? You want to burn this time away from the Jealousy Rage, but Crillou, super sticky, just stays right on top of Wrathgazer.
Yeah, and a very nice RPS there from Crillou. Oh, the 5H coming out. Danzai gets those plus frames and goes for that 50-50. Gonna catch the low and take that round from Wrathgazer.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to see if Wrathgazer can come up with anything to solidify this game for themselves and even up the score, or if it's just going to be an advantage state for Crillou. So far looking to be the case. Crillou starting off the pressure, super dominant, running low on that Jealousy Rage, and burst coming out from Wrathgazer, sending him back down to mid-screen.
Oh, and going for the gimmicky play, but it does appear to work out, and Wrathgazer is going to have to defend with this Jealous Rage A.B.A now, and that jump H is gonna catch whatever they press there, but not enough to kill. A drop with the 2K, trying to bait out a YRC, and the 2P is all Crillou needs to really close it out 2-0 here. Wrathgazer needs to make some quick adaptations if they want to find themselves in the winner's side at Grand Finals.
Absolutely, because just like you hinted at, the fact that they are in winners finals does mean that they do have a second chance in the losers run, but man, you much rather prefer just taking it over into the Grand Finals and enjoying yourself that bracket reset safety net.
Alright, and now here we go into potentially our last game of winners finals. A whiff on that second Danzai hit, so no plus frames from Crillou, but is going to back off and get rewarded for it with that hit.
Yeah, just like that, you can see Crillou just taking it nice and slow, has that life lead available towards them, so doesn't need to overcommit, and it's going to get a good whiff punish on that heavy slash attempt, as well as a wall break with the head with the super knockdown, as well as that full Jealousy Rage gauge to be able to just cook and potentially just, I think, yeah, this should kill here. Super
beautiful conversion. Keep it super simple and then take that perfect. Looking very, very good for Crillou right now. Going to be on set point, needing one more round to find themselves on the winner's side of Grand Finals with a pretty good chance of winning the bracket, all things considered.
Yeah, so we will see. So far, Wrathgazer finally able to close in on Crillou. Stuck into the corner, half health already gone. Good blocks, and just like that, one mix-up later, you're holding pressure again, but it's going to try and burst to keep the momentum going. Finds the throw on Crillou, jumping in. Gold burst coming out from Crillou themselves. It's going to be using those plus frames, keeping Wrathgazer stuck into the corner. We will see a wall break, but no super knockdown, so still an opportunity for Wrathgazer to be able to cash out on that 100 tension that they have built up for themselves.
Yeah, and the cash out appears to be 2 BRCs, but it's not enough to get the pop buster. And now Crillou in return is gonna cash out not only 50 bar, but their Jealous Rage and their ticket to Grand Finals winner's side. While Wrathgazer will have to fight their way to try and get themselves in the loser's side from the loser's finals against the winner of Zato-Van and Resil.
Absolutely. So hopefully we're going to jump straight into that as, well, we got nothing more to show, right? As you were the last one to claim the Salty, or so the Matcherino code. So we're just sitting here waiting on the next matchup. Resil is on the plate awaiting Zato-Van to approach. So hopefully we'll also see any further connection issues to come out from Zato-Van, and we can keep a nice, smooth gaming experience going.
Yep, and Zato-Van is still in the lobby. If you can see him hiding behind the pillar up there. The little, yep, there we go.
There it is.
And ready to come down to that podium with the Bedman versus Asuka now. It's just this two complicated characters who really have unorthodox win conditions. But both of them have decent zoning games and pretty good mix-ups when close up, so it's going to be, okay, no connection issues now, and we're going to get into our losers semi-finals.
Go with Zato-Van finding the early pressure, keeping Resil locked into the corner, gets that throw, setting up these spells, throwing these cubes. Just like that, bit by bit, the chip damage is adding up, but just sets the raw Beyblade out, tries to find that tap dust, but no dice, and he's going to have to burst to try and keep control of the mid-screen.
You know, Resil getting pretty cheeky there, trying to go for a charge dust this early in the set. But is going to be rewarded by keeping Zato-Van in the corner with low mana, and that's going to be a huge hit. One more hit with that tap 5D this time is going to close it out, but Zato-Van feeling confident they can take the first round here without any mana, spends that burst and is going to lose to that JS.
Yeah, it's rough. You hate to see that situation, although both players are pretty comparable in the burst gauge. Although Zato-Van contributing a lot of recovery here for Resil with those early hits, blocks the Jade, or blocks the dust, but the error is going to keep the pressure going for Resil, trapping them into the corner, finding once again another mana break. Wow, is Resil able to just crack the shell of Asuka here?
Oh my god, yeah, no, this is a speed run so far. Resil absolutely destroying Zato-Van. A quick mana shield break after another, and that's going to be the first game going to Resil.
I wonder if Resil's some kind of like Apex Legends player, the way he cracks that shield so quick. He's cracked, get him. Yeah, definitely a good, strong start here. We haven't quite seen a whole lot of how Resil interacts into the Asuka. We saw well-played Beyblade being able to challenge and find a way out to get some control of the game. And after that, just, solid mana crack in to kill. So we'll see what Zato-Van has available to themselves to conserve their mana a little bit more, to not find themselves in situations where they're eating tons of damage and able to maintain that pressure that they're also familiar with.
Yeah, and now setting up this cube pressure in the corner. Resil finally having to hold this after Zato-Van trying to set it up multiple times in that first game. Not able to find any openings for it. And we are going to be in test case 3 trying to find themselves some really good kind of Exodia setups here. And wow, very weird mix-up, but it does end up working out in the end. And this should be dead with the right route.
That was a lot of scaling, and just like that, White Wild Assault used for the Hail Mary finds a hit here. Still, that mana shield is going to be a tough one to be able to make that comeback on, because the defense rating from Asuka is going to make it very tricky to make damage stick, and just like that, that 5P challenge is going to put the first round win on the side of Zato-Van.
Yeah, and also have to watch out for that speed staff with the shuffle in the test case 2 with a speed staff out. This is very dangerous, but Resil not really going to have to worry about it if they're on the offense right now. Keeping Zato-Van in the corner, and we are going to see that White Waddle Sock come out. Keeping them in the corner, and he's going to find a hit, break the mana, and this is going to be a lot of damage. Our knockdown? Maybe? No.
Not shooting the error to be able to get that knockdown, but the error bomb head will do it. As Resil ties up the rounds here and is 1 round away from solidifying their lead, as well as Zato-Van being 1 round from evening up the set. So far, starting off pretty nicely here with a slick air-to-air conversion and getting that wall break for the positive beater bonus. But the white wild assault is going to put Resil right in Zato-Van's face.
Yeah, super nice there, but Zato-Van still going to be able to keep it up. Has some good setup cards, but no attacking spells actually in their hand to be able to threaten some strong offense. So they're going to have to stick to the defense at the moment. Could try and find some space to get a mulligan, but spends the meter on the PRC instead and finds the opening they need to set up, well, a wall break. But needs another opening to try and get anything in their hand. DRC comes out and that's the opening they need. Speed Staff is out and this is almost certainly a checkmate as Resil gets hit by that cube.
Yep, that will do it. So Zato-Van is going to be tying up the set there with an immaculate defense against the constant jump reset options that Bedman has available to themselves to be able to get those overhead hits. As we're going to take it down to a 1-1 situation. We'll see if Resil can find that dominance they've been displaying in the first game once more, or if Zato-Van has started to wake up against what Resil likes to throw out and how he likes to navigate the Bedman.
Yeah, absolutely. And Resil does have a pretty weird playstyle on Bedman. Well, this character is a weird character in the first place, but Resil specifically is a pretty weird playstyle that you do have to adapt to on the fly or know in advance what their habits are. But Zato-Van, super experienced in this game, definitely well wise about Resil's habits and is going to abuse those with the spells that they can get.
Yeah, absolutely. So far was low on spells, but you're going to see that quick mulligan trying to find themselves a nice set of cards. Just like that is able to control Resil's approach, but Resil finding the challenge. Now they're able to cook quite well here, has that 100% tension available, so whenever they decide they can keep the pressure going, but cuts it there. Go try and use that super for the reversal, finds the hit, RCs for the extension, puts them in towards the corner, not enough to get that wall splat or an extension just yet, baits out, well, I guess to a degree, baits out the burst shield, but still, Zato-Van with the RC is able to find the cross under and get that closing hit for the first round.
Oh my god, nice round start, okay, and has the slow staff out. Not the best right now, but looking rather low on mana, yeah, has to make some kind of play to find an opening to safely get that back. And we are gonna change ourselves into a test case 3 here with 3 like big cubes, the fire ones.
Yes, big cube.
Big fire cubes.
Yep. And just as soon as Resil tried to make a comeback with the install, Zato-Van finds the opening, but also Resil able to wrestle it back. Has the opening themselves. Zato-Van stuck into the corner, finds that counter hit. It's going to be bursting. Does have the cubes connect. Tries to get some kind of pickup to drag him in towards the corner, but doesn't quite connect. Still down to possibly the last hit situation here. 6P whiffing the gold burst on top of it. Zato-Van is able to close it out after quite a panicky response there from Resil.
Yeah, no, that was super nice patience. Choosing to bookmark rather than trying to push their luck and try and get a punish, knowing that Resil is still panicking in that corner with that low amount of health and does spend the burst and able to get that punish just because of their very, very well-taught patience.
Absolutely. So we'll see what Resil has in store for himself to be able to make this comeback. Starting off with the white wild assault, not connecting and getting Zato-Van the punish, as well as the corner pressure against Resil. Man, just all things are stacking up. White wild assault punished, put into the corner, immediately getting that wall break. It's looking all Zato-Van right now.
Yeah, and gets that Guard Crush into the crossover because Guard Crush does remove cross protection, but tries a white wild assault through the cube. Does successfully do it on that one, as that one was not a super. But Resil is going to get that Guard Crush, and nice mash out from Zato-Van, recognizing that's fake. Going to get a big counter hit here. Goes for the mix, same side, and nice 5P Zato-Van, not letting any of this fake offense go unchecked.
Absolutely putting themselves on set point here. So Resil Now is the time to find that answer if you want to stay alive. This is a loser side run, so we're going to see a player eliminated here for better or for worse. So far, Zato-Van starting off quite comfortably, getting a few hits here and there, slowly building their life lead advantage as well as the screen position advantage. Driving Resil towards the corner, getting these knockdowns, refreshing this card, refreshing his mana. Has 100. Whoa, I didn't even see him jump up.
Yeah, well, we have the air throw here, and with that mulligan is most likely just going to checkmate Resil here with all of these cards, but the last lifeline is going to come out with the yellow Roman cancel, and if Resil keeps this offense up, which he does, oh no, a drop at the very, very end. The 5D is going to close it out, though. Resil still in it.
Making that mana break count just when it needed. Even if they didn't get the finishing blow there, it was still a lot of damage dealt, and as well as, you know, equalizing it to the last hit situation. But then again, Zato-Van back in the dominant position. Resil finding the ability to mash out as well as a Beyblade. He's going to be driving Zato-Van in towards the corner, running that Bedman pressure that seems always near infinite, getting that tap dust, bomb head coming out. Burst is available, but no, a little too slow. Does get the far slash check. And the burst from Zato-Van gets the bedfall, but not enough to be able to get that conversion. Last pixel house situation, the 6P will do it. Resil staying alive in this set, bringing it down to a final game situation.
Yeah, no, this is very, very close. 2-2 from both players, but I have noticed on Resil's side, every time they get that hit with the JD, they end up dropping their combo where they do JK, JS, and then continue. The JS has not been coming out, and that has been costing Resil a lot. But it just shows how good they are for even their main combo after opening somebody up not working. They're able to keep this amount of dominance over some of the best players in the region.
Absolutely, to not get shaken up with the situation of like, wow, damn, normally I hit those, what's going on today? And just make it, you know, we make it work from what we're getting here. Unfortunately, trying to ball a little too hard. The first getting baited here by Zato-Van. Not enough time to analyze what happened last game. Zato-Van is immediately putting the foot on the pedal, straight gassing towards Resil. Resil trying to find a challenging opening here with the Beyblade. Gets a small hit in, finds another hit. Driving Zato-Van towards the corner, bit by bit, but tries to throw him. But it is Zato-Van that comes out on top with their own throw. And then yet again finding themselves on the set point.
Yeah, but will they be able to close it out this time? A mana break could be just what Resil needs to try and keep themselves back in the game. It's what they've been getting last time to try and keep them even with Zato-Van, but not having the chance to get out of this corner is going to be very, very problematic. We're going to have a bunch of weird spells in here, but we do have the big cube, and we are going to have 2 mulligans in the hand, but the instant overhead with the gravity staff is all Zato-Van is going to need to take it over Resil, and Resil is going to be out of the tournament at 4th place. So Zato-Van now going to move off to our losers finals to go fight Wrathgazer. So we're going to see Zato. Now, yeah, I'm pretty sure Wrathgazer is the one who knocked Zato-Van into losers earlier in the bracket, so this is definitely a match that Zato-Van wants to win. Getting that run back on the person who sent you down to the losers side is definitely going to be something that they want, and to get that run back to find your spot in grand finals is going to be huge.
Absolutely, especially to consider the fact that it's very doable for Zato-Van to get that run back. The last time that Wrathgazer sent them down to loser side, the score was 3-2. So it was, I mean, I don't think it was streamed. I have to look towards chat if that was the case. But as far as we can assume, that was a close game, so it could have been anyone's, especially considering the 3-2 score. So we'll see if it goes that distance again, or if Zato-Van, with this losers run he has been experiencing, is able to just keep the momentum going, keep it hot, and is able to overwhelm Wrathgazer, who has kind of been waiting a lot between games, especially sitting in this winner's side of the bracket.
But Zato-Van is hopped off their win, and a very close set as well, so they did have to focus quite a bit. So, one, their focus could be dwindling, but if they do have more stamina in the tank, already being focused and locked in, you can definitely keep up that momentum to try and take it over Wrathgazer.
Absolutely. So I'm curious. I think what's interesting, because a lot of the times when you see a matchup where you consider a matchup where a character is able to just basically spam projectiles on the screen, or just keep certain players at bay or just right in their face and there's no opportunity to challenge, you'd think this would be quite an impossible matchup for a grappler to play. But the Potemkin character has some big, long normals afforded to himself, so he's able to clear right through waves of projectiles as well as get that follow-up that sets up a very dangerous mix-up strike-throw game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there we go. We're seeing the heat tackle come out, and that is why this matchup is pretty decent for Potemkin, all things considered. As you said earlier, right, you would expect this to be super bad for a grappler, but Potemkin doesn't have the worst time in this matchup. He still does have to find his way around the cubes, but having some pretty nice tools to deal with them does always help. And the heat tackle being meterless always adds some sort of threat from Potemkin just being on the screen.
Yeah, so far, you know, not a lot of hits have come out of Wrathgazer, but for those that have, it has been doing a lot of damage here. But I think Zato-Van is going to be closing out this first round despite all the attempts from Wrathgazer to get in. So Mr. Ice, the scoreboard is reversed. Help.
And most of the time we have been seeing Wrathgazer finding those openings, but just not being able to get the hit afterwards, like now. Able to get that knockdown with the white water slot, but too scared of the DP to try and contest and go for a close slash, but goes for the 5P, is going to be able to keep up their pressure, needs to watch out for the DP in the end though. But we're going to find a nice big hit here. Sadly, the corner swap for Wrathgazer not going to find them the kill. And the throw RC from Zato-Van is going to get them a nice wall break and a little bit of time to regen some of that mana.
Yeah, that was definitely an unfortunate situation. That was the ideal hit. You wanted to get that Mega Fist also on that mana break. Should have been enough to kill, but Daisuke's finger preventing Wrathgazer from receiving a corner combo this time, though, putting out that Aegis Reflector to get some pressure going. The patience from Zato-Van now paying off as they're running a little bit of that normal-based combos, putting Wrathgazer in the corner to hold the cube pressure, but the heat tackle coming out on top. Oh, and that last hit from the Hammerfall will do it. Wrathgazer tying up the rounds.
Yeah, Wrathgazer has been playing very, very well so far, and able to get that knockdown in Zato-Van. Goes for the fuzzy overhead because Potemkin is a big boy. Big and tall, able to get that overhead as his head's... Ooh,
that's kill.
Oh my god, that's death.
Yeah. Oh my god, mana break. Asuka is such a funny character. You thought Chip dies. Holy, hold mana break Asuka's beer.
Yeah, no, and I'm pretty sure if I didn't imagine a round in my head, that's 1-0 to Wrathgazer.
Absolutely, you are not imagining. Definitely Wrathgazer starting off on the good footing here with that early first game win. So we'll see if he can keep that momentum going, especially because I think those rounds that he has been able to win and capitalize very hard off against Zato-Van has been the ones where he did get those mana breaks. But also Potemkin, being quite a defensive giant, is able to eat a lot of hits before he finally starts panicking and is able to just, you know, take it slow a little bit, find an opportunity to, as I say, take it slow, just heat tackles and gets punished for it.
Yeah, no, that's two ways that you can approach this matchup, and both do have their merits. The slow and steady is way more consistent, but a lot of times you will not like even find an opening in the round. Like say Asuka starting with Speed Staff now. If he gets this out, it could be looking real deadly for Wrathgazer. But holding onto it, it seems, and pops it now.
Yeah, Hammerfall, unfortunately, not connecting, is going to be blocked, so that's going to be a simple punish for Zato-Van, and the burst from Wrathgazer to try find some kind of opening, slide head connecting. Zato-Van still has that DP card available to themselves, is going to find that far slash and get that RC for the knockdown. Into some more card installs. Hammerfall connecting, DP attempt, big counter hit, and the pop buster conversion. Oh.
Not even needed, but goes for the Heavenly Potemkin Buster to send that message. And we're going to tie up the rounds in the second game of our losers finals.
Man, you really just like blink once and Potemkin's like, boo, you're dead.
Yeah, no, especially against Zato-Van. Wrathgazer has just been finding one opening every round he's taken. And he's just taken that to the moon like he did with Asuka there.
Taking him back home, but unfortunately Zato-Van keeping the pressure real tight here, and also going to be cashing out with that super for the hard knockdown, that positive meter bonus. Wrathgazer is going to have to find the answer very quickly, or that clean comeback round that they just scored the last time is going to be for naught, and it will be the case as Zato-Van is going to be tying up the scoreboard 1-1.
Yeah, no, these matchups are going back and forth over and over again. Wrathgazer taking the first, and then Zato-Van clapping back and taking that second game.
Absolutely. So we'll see if Wrathgazer can hit some more of those well-timed specials to get the big counter hit that he's looking for, driving Zato-Van all the way into the corner. If Zato-Van can keep up the pressure, keep the gentle giant locked down long enough to close out a round. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Wrathgazer definitely fishing with those normals, trying to find a big hit. Gets the 5k, but not able to get the knockdown with the 2D. A little bit too slow there. Wrathgazer is going to be in the corner now, having to block out these cubes in test case 2. So possible mix-up spells coming out from these draws. And speaking of a mix-up, there we go, getting a high-low there with the jump K into the 2k there.
And Wrathgazer finding a brief opportunity of pressure, but just letting Zato-Van escape safely now back to that slow approach against all the cubes. Tries to 6k, but Zato-Van is going to be shuffling the deck right in his face, going straight into the super, and that's even going to get them punished. All that time freezing, giving him room enough to set up a punish is kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah, this is very, very dangerous. Going for that overhead, blocked by Wrathgazer. IBFD on the close slash, but able to get that pop buster. Breaks the mana, not enough to kill with the OTG, but goes for the fake out 5D into the pop buster.
And great stuff from Wrathgazer, especially like you said, flashing that overhead, getting that orange shine. He goes like, nah, just kidding, grab. Like that.
Nice, big catch with the 6H. Gonna have Zato-Van in the corner again. Guard crush, can't fuzzy that.
Good blocks from Zato-Van. 2HS attempt, just opting to use that gold burst, right? Get that pressure off him. Wants to get something going a little bit more on Zato-Van's terms, right? This character definitely does not mind bursting you off of him. Able to use those big cubes to control the long range and slowly approach on his own terms. Wrathgazer does have a nice life lead here, but does have to find the next hit. Finds that JD counter hit, RC for the extension. Is that enough? Wild Assault, the mana break should do it. And wow, what an interesting conversion. Ending it off with the heat tackle. And once again, finding the lead in the set, bringing it to a 2-1. So one game away from advancing on forward into that grand finals and eliminating Zato-Van in third place.
Yeah, no, that was very, very nice routing from Wrathgazer, spending the charge White Wild Assault to extend that combo on so that they could break that mana shield just to get that tad bit of extra damage that they needed to close out that game and put them up 2-1 in our losers finals of SaltyEU.
Absolutely. So we'll see if I was about to say, let's see if Wrathgazer can start off nice aggressive. Gets that White Wild Assault straight into Zato-Van's face. Trying to keep him trapped in the corner. Does have to keep in mind he has that DP card still sitting on it. So at any point a reversal is available. Running kind of low on mana, and so far we've seen Zato-Van hang on to that DP card, but now finally shuffling it away. Something a little bit more favorable. Slow moving cubes, but man, these big normals from Potemkin just checks them.
Yeah, and oh, not able to check the PRC pop buster. Definitely one of the things that are needed to be checked on this character, and he gets it again. Wrathgazer very, very happy with himself after that and closed it out with the 5D. Wrathgazer now on set point, trying to take their chance to get into grand finals to get their rematch against Crillou.
So far, starting it off nicely with that throw tech overhead, being blocked, but still the pressure keeps going from Zato-Van, who's stuck in the corner, he's holding the spacing on you as well, as you attempt to jump out. Now, again, setting up all these cubes, running low on that deck. Unfortunately, you just get hit, and like that, Wrathgazer are going to be holding the screen transition. We'll likely not see them burst holding it on for potentially the next round, which, you know, still being on set point, you want to hang on to that burst to try and set yourself up for a favorable situation, and this round is just resources.
Yeah, not even a chance to burst in that one. Wrathgazer doing their best to hold it on for the next round. Ooh, but gets clipped out of the air with that cube, and we're gonna see a whole ton of guard crush coming out. With the arpeggio there, trying to back off to find an opening for it, but in return, giving Wrathgazer a massive opening, throwing himself into the corner, and now having to hold the 5D comes out, and Wrathgazer going for a super simple combo. Will you be able to get the wall break before the mana comes back? No, you won't. Zato-Van having one last chance, needs to watch out for these white water assaults. Any kind of burst option for Wrathgazer could close out the set. But the Gigantic Kai is going to come out. You have a DP. You need to find a chance to use it here. Burst comes out before the DP. Safer option first. Now we get the knockdown. Mulligan comes out low on mana. Needs to keep up this offense.
Yeah, just that last pixel. Can Wrathgazer find the hit? Slowly building back towards that burst. Has that white wild assault available as per usual. Great backdash, but no punish unfortunately. But the 6K tackling and catching the backdash from Zato-Van. Wrathgazer is going to be closing out 3-1 over Zato-Van.
Yeah, and that is a really, really nice rematch. Wrathgazer showing that that wasn't a fluke, being able to take the #1 seed of the tournament out 2 times in a row, double jeopardied by the pot player we're going to be seeing in our grand finals.
Absolutely. So getting that rematch against Crillou. So we'll see if this time they have something to deal with against the A.B.A. Though the situation is going to be rough because unlike last time, you have no do-overs, whereas Crillou has that one reset catching net to be able to adapt, right? You got to win 2 sets, whereas they only need to win that 1 set. So you have to make each game, each round count. Preferably just dominate them, honestly.
Yeah, and here we go. Crillou versus Wrathgazer in our grand finals. The repeat of our winners finals. But we have Crillou, the winner of that set, in the winner's side. So Wrathgazer is going to have to work extra hard if they want to take the bracket off them. Having to block all of these overheads, but getting hit by the very last one. Danzai coming out. Not able to get that confirmed. 2 lows to... Ooh.
Man, Crillou just willing to press, has one of their normals backdashed upon, and immediately not hesitating, has saw the normal not quite connect nicely, and it's just like, yeah, 2P, keep it running, just like that. Jealous Rage pressure, RCs to keep it going, good blocks from Wrathgazer, but the pressure seems endless, and Risk Gauge is cracking up, does find a nice counter hit, and wow, look at the damage coming out from Wrathgazer here, almost getting that full health swing, and forcefully deinstalling Crillou out of the Jealous Rage state, getting close to that 50 tension.
Oh, and very nice Mega Fist over. Ooh, very questionable confirmed though. Not able to get the kill with that. Possibly wanted to deny burst and thought they were going to get the wall break with it as well, but slightly out of the range. Not able to get that. Has to find one last hit that they are fishing for right now. Dodges that 2S. Able to keep themselves in, and the 5D overhead is what it's going to need to knock that first round out of our grand finals.
Definitely looking a lot stronger here for Wrathgazer. I guess the games that they've been playing from the loser side, keeping them nice and warm. White Wild Assault pushing Crillou in towards the corner. Crillou getting really close to having that burst available. Big Garuda counter hit. Yeah, you recognize that could be a big pop bust to follow up as well. Just want to burst that out and give yourself an opportunity to run some of that Jealousy Rage damage.
Yeah, this is very, very nice from Crillou. Half of Wrathgazer's health gone. And we're going to get that mix-up going overhead into low. Runs straight in, finds himself in the corner, gets the clutch, but is able to press that 2S again and keep going. The BRC back from Wrathgazer wants to stay safe, but gets the close slash. And Crillou recognizing they're getting a little bit greedy there, not too safe, and is going to leverage their meter to get that mash out and take a round back on Wrathgazer.
Yeah, so we'll see what Wrathgazer has available. Does find a nice punish over that far slash now, pushing Crillou towards the corner, but Crillou super daring to press just like that, finding themselves a nice far slash as well as the install here. Overhead connecting is going to be a Danzai extension towards the corner. Gets that deinstall, and with that super is going to be reinstalling as well as that hard knockdown and having a good grip of Jesse Rage available.
Yeah, and now Wrathgazer seems to get a big hit here. But the Wild Assault's going to get hit out, and the Danzai is going to throw them into the corner. Nice throw bait from Crillou. And yeah, it should be enough, and they close out game 2 there, evening it up 1-1.
This is game 1, actually.
Wait, that was one game?
That was one game.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It looked like it even went forever because both these players are taking these rounds to like the absolute maximum possible. But Crillou coming out on top with that first game win. Yeah, that was one game. We're here for the long haul, especially if Wrathgazer is able to put some games on the board themselves and challenge that reset. We Dragon Ball FighterZ
absolutely, but the way it's going now, it's looking very, very good for Crillou. Oh, and a nice 2K on the round start to beat out that greedy pop buster from Wrathgazer. Gonna get that wall break, and we are building up our Jealous Rage gauge, and now, with the barometer, you're gonna have to hold something.
Yeah, Danzai plus frames knocking Wrathgazer towards the corner here. Has that 100-meter RC into the overhead, another RC for the extension. Wrathgazer will be bursting here, so believing in the potential to be able to at least take Krillou's burst back themselves. Unfortunately, not quite going that way just yet. Throw into RC will be enough to close out that round. So quite the heroic burst coming out there from Wrathgazer, and not leading to a whole lot. Crillou with a solid lead here.
Yeah, now Wrathgazer choosing to back off a little bit, but Crillou so consistent with these whip punishes. Wrathgazer stuck in this corner, and now just pops off that Jealous Rage gauge, and now that's going to be huge for Crillou. Finding that opening, not really getting that special cancel there that they'd want, but still pushing Wrathgazer into the corner, and this is a clean sweep. One hit needed for Crillou to close it out.
Yeah, he tackled happen. He's able to keep it nice and safe, but unfortunately, having to spend that meter on the slide head there. Oh, it's not slide head, it's a hammer fall. But then again, Crillou maintaining pressure, gets that overhead, and just like that, is not willing to give up control at all. Always challenging, always sending themselves into the Jealous Rage, finding those overheads, and just like that, Wrathgazer is one game away from being solidified in second place, as Crillou is threatening that final game win to take it all for this week's Salty.
Yeah, and by the looks of things, it's looking pretty possible that Crillou could just take this 3-0, but Wrathgazer did put up a great effort in that first round, making things look really, really strong in their favor, but they really haven't been able to get that prime back in the rest of the set here. So Crillou is going to start off with a nice counter hit at the start.
Yeah, just like that, driving Wrathgazer to the corner. Wrathgazer not too comfortable with that situation, tries to burst out, but just like that, gets anti-aired again, and it's going to be leading to a lot of damage here. Even despite the tankiness of Potemkin, look at that red bar. So Crillou down to that last potential combo hit, though a reversal throw is going to try and set up something for Wrathgazer. Big counter hit, he tackles from in towards the corner, baits the super, but a lot of RC is going to still put it slightly on top for Crillou here.
Yeah, and Wrathgazer ends up crossing himself up there, not knowing what side to block that 2S on. Crillou not ready for it, not able to get the punish, but does get the punish there on that 6K, and now they are going to be on tournament point, needing one more round to take the tournament over Wrathgazer.
Yeah, jumping in, it's looking kind of precarious here. He's able to challenge through the Danzai, but just like that, the heat tackle not hitting its mark. And Crillou is able to build himself a solid life advantage as well as a lot of Jesse Rage. Gets the wall splat on top of it, so this is going to be positive meter bonus as well. Tries the heat tackle in, hits him too high. Heat tackle once more, but the 5-feet press despite the RC here, so Crillou really brave here. Wrathgazer trying to burst, get what little advantage they can, but just like that, holding the plus on block super once again.
Yeah, and we get the mix up, and the simple overhead is all you're going to need to close out the set and the tournament. Crillou is your champion for this SaltyEU on the A.B.A. and Axel.
So great work from Crillou, and of course, good stuff from Wrathgazer to be able to find their way back into the grand finals, but unfortunately only coming up to a second place. Nothing to scoff at nonetheless, right? Second place, Salty is also a very well placement, but Crillou taking the big dub as well as the big bag.
Yeah, and with all the codes from the match arena that you guys have been adding up, Crillou will, and Wrathgazer, actually, I forgot, it goes to second place as well, and I'm pretty sure it goes to third place. So the top 3 players there are going to be getting the money that you guys added to that match arena pot.
Absolutely, your code claim matters. It's not only going out to the top players anymore. We're paying them all out. Play web fishing carried me. Yeah, I've been seeing that's the wave recently. I've been playing web fishing, so I guess follow what Crillou said. Play some web fishing, and you'll all be salty champions next week.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But here we go with the tournament over. Is there anything that you would like to say?
Yeah, I guess while we're waiting for Ice to pull up with that top 8 graphic, well, you know where to find me. I'm still on the funny Twitter app or X app, so that's @Yoker_. If you want to see me sporadically reply to people occasionally, but where the more important and more valuable follow comes down to is if you're willing to check out our local over in the Netherlands at Zero Fundies or Zero Fundies on Twitch as well. We do try to run Strive here and there. We usually run a funny bracket online where we see the likes of some of our fellow NL players come out. I saw Dimester in the chat earlier. Sup, dude. Shout outs to him. Definitely cooking up in our brackets. We also run offlines quite regularly in the area Utrecht. So if you do want to check us out over there, definitely hop on over. We are trying to plan something bigger in March for those of you who have been apprehensive and waiting for a multi-day something. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And last shout out, late November, Bun Check. Check it out. You know how it is. They got all the Guilty Gears. They got the funny Blazblue game I love so dearly. They got Street Fighter 6 and this unknown game that Ice plays. Keeps talking about it sometimes. Tekken 8, I haven't heard of it, but I guess it's good. So head on over. Three days of Czech Republic gaming. And anything on your side, Variety?
Well, for me, in the Irish scene, you mentioned you had Button Mash, and for us, well, Button Mash or Button Check?
Button Check.
Button Check. Well, over here in Ireland, in November 2nd, we are going to have a big Strive tournament up in Dublin, Irish Gaming Market Winter Showdown, where we have the likes of me, Jonesy, Keno, and a few others that you might recognize on commentary, with some great players like Matty, Hawkey, Joe. Joe the Conductor is going to be there as well. And Gideon is also going to be showing up as well. If you want big names that you might know showing up to the event, it's going to be a great it's going to be a great time. I was at the last one. It was a great tournament. It's probably the biggest we have in Ireland at the moment. So if you ever are free around that time, even if you can't make it, you can check out the stream on Twitch. It's going to be up on November 2nd. Just, you know, show love to the community as we are trying to grow the tournament. And if we get more, you know, eyes on it, maybe we can start moving to something bigger, like making, you know, basically Celtic Throwdown 2. Because I know people want to see that.
I was about to say, big respects to try and take over Celtic Throwdown spot. I've always been meaning to go to that, but sad to hear it go. So definitely going to keep my eyes peeled for that next year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Alright, so this is usually where Ice comes in with a top 8 graphic.
Yeah, with all that,
I was busy making another graphic, not for this though.
I guess I could talk about this flight to the
beautiful thing, right? When you're not commentating, I can work on stuff for my local. So
true,
I forgot about
wait,
the
you're local.
Yeah.
You have to be working on salty stuff first. Excuse me.
I can't believe it. Yeah. That's my bad, chat. That's my bad, chat. But we are gonna raid somebody, obviously. There's not really any homies playing.
There's Slash on, but they do have quite a few viewers already, so we could send you off to Possibly somebody with a little less viewers to get them some well
Send them off
needed.
to Desily, they're playing Blazblue.
Deseli on Blazblue. Well,
That's
hopefully we want to try
Blazblue.
and keep it on the
Cross tag battle.
Central Fiction,
Wait,
bro,
it's
the real
a-
peak.
yeah.
That's
Well,
So that's
no,
the
I don't
correct
see
one. What are you
any-
talking about? That's what they're running at Bun Check.
no. I was
Ooh.
talking about like I don't know any of these people.
Okay, yeah.
Desily, I
I'd
believe,
check
plays
out.
Grand Blue. Youth
Yeah,
Formula.
Deseli plays Granblue and Lethal League. I remember having to play them
There's
in
literally
bracket one time.
nobody streaming Rev 2 right now.
Nobody's streaming Rev 2. I mean,
We
if
could go to
everything like
Spaghetti Showdown. They're streaming Grand Blue.
we could do a Spaghetti
They're the
Showdown.
homies, They're the homies.
Quick homie raid.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you wanna
let's go to
send
Spaghetti
them off to
Showdown.
Spaghetti Showdown, we can do that.
Let's go there. And yeah, hope you all have a wonderful Monday evening. I will go make that top 8 image after I turn off the stream. So hope you all enjoy. Have a good one. Peace out.
Peace.
Alrighty then. Bye bye.